Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Mile High Game Guys board gaming podcast. I'm your host, Adrian.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Jeff.
And joining us this week for his second time in studio, third time on the show, Bullshit Paul.
Fourth time now, right?
No, because this one came out Wednesday.
This releases before.
God,
Jesus.
All right.
Oh,
Don't you know how time works, Paul?
Nope. Clearly not.
not.
The
Clearly
illusion, the shattering.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can hear it.
Yeah, this isn't the afterlife. It's not sort of Jeremy Bearimy sort of timeline.
I need to watch most of those episodes.
Before we get too far into rambly talking about nonsense, which there's going to be a lot of it. But
I've heard you guys. That's immediately what you dive into.
But first, we do like to mention that our Wednesday episodes are sponsored by Gray Fox Games.
All right, now back to bullshit.
I tried to sidetrack him.
Yeah.
I tried.
Paul, you finally had your housewarming party.
Finally. It was like a month.
He was in his place less between the time he moved in and his housewarming than when Megan and I bought this house, moved in, and had our
Yeah, why do I get shat on?
Because
Adrian's back in the studio. The time for shitting on Paul is over.
I mean, it's never not over.
That's true.
But as soon as you were even looking into that house, it was like, all right, well, when's your housewarming party going to be?
Yeah. We're gonna have many parties. Don't fret.
Yeah, I missed out. I was up in the mountains all weekend.
Jeff, you know we missed out on your presence. Jeff.
Yeah,
we, though?
absolutely.
You know,
I missed out.
You missed out on a lot of delicious pulled pork.
I'm
Oh
sure
my
I did.
God, the pulled
I've had
pork was
your pulled
so
pork.
good.
Did you bring out the bear claws to pull it
did.
apart?
Yep.
The bear
As
claws.
is
Nice.
tradition, I did not pull it myself because I don't like doing that. Weird.
Okay.
I know. But Zach did one of them, and Eldar did the other.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
conned two people into doing it,
Well,
per usual.
I also was there, and I was like, I don't have enough money to actually get anything. So you're like, you want to do this? I was like, yes.
Yes, you contributed.
Yes.
I stopped by. My dad and my dad were in town.
I got the full story earlier today.
Yeah.
It's very confusing.
It's not really. It's not really like if you
No, it's
if
just
you go into the
two
whole
people found
history-
each other. Yeah.
So Adrian hung out with his two dads.
Yep.
Two dads, and it was great because we stopped by and I thought it'd just be a quick stop in because I was like, they don't know anybody.
No.
They're going to be uncomfortable.
Which is what you told us. So we were like, all right, good. Adrian only has to be here for a while, and then he can
Yeah,
finally.
we are all excited.
Yeah.
I know.
I actually don't remember any of this because
You got drunk.
Oh,
Also, I didn't actually ever say. Well, I think I said like, "Hey, we're just stopping in."
Yeah.
At one point, but they ended up They started having fun, and people were talking to them and including them
Cool.
because we've got a great group of friends, and they ended up having a blast. And we stayed. They got shit faced, and I got just close, and then was like, "Fuck, I have to stop." I drank like 4 Topo Chicos over 2 hours.
excellent.
Came home, and
Wait,
then
who told you could have my Topo Chicos?
Probably
I just
you.
assumed.
You know, my pork,
No, just
my
say-
beer, my alcohol, that's all fine. But my Topo Chico is where I draw the line.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I got home, and then we started drinking when we got back home, and
Nice.
I got the drunkest I have been in a long time.
Did you end up making them watch Cabin in the Woods, or
Well, we started it.
that sounds about right?
Yeah. So Sunday morning was rough
Mhm.
for I'm assuming more than just me.
I was
but-
actually fine, believe it or not.
I was fine, but that's also because I worked until 2 a.m. after that.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was. I worked a lot this past week.
Yeah.
Comparatively, it wasn't the most I'd ever worked because technically that was 50 hours one week, and it wasn't the most amount of rides I'd ever had, but it was hands down the most amount of money I've ever made in 1 week, which
That's
was
good.
nice.
Yeah.
that always is nice.
Yes.
Yeah, especially because on Friday I worked for 11 hours, and this includes a drive from DIA to Fort Collins, a bunch of like city spanning rides before that, and then this ended with a ride from Longmont to Evergreen, which
That's a long way for everybody who's like, I don't know
Yeah.
what the fuck either of those are.
It's got to be a
Yes.
couple $100.
I made over $400 that day.
Woo.
Yeah. 2 caveats to that day. One is that we had a winter storm that Friday in the mountains, but I was halfway through my drive from Longmont to Evergreen, and I had noticed that it had started raining in Boulder, and I was like, okay, here's some rain, but I saw the temperature, and it was like 42, 44, and I was like, okay. And then I passed a sign that said winter storm Friday night to Sunday morning. I'm like, oh, God damn it. Because Evergreens is in the mountain. And as I got onto 70 and started climbing into the mountains, I'm watching my temperature go 41, 40, 39, 38. And I'm like, oh, don't fuck me on this. Don't fuck me on this. And then right when I got into Evergreen, it was like 33. And it was that snow rain mixture. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, and I was like, I have to keep climbing up the mountain. I'm like, oh, this is not gonna be good. And it stayed at 33 right up until I turned onto a mountain road called like Squall Pass or something like that. And then it was immediately 32 and then just pure snow. And then it was a race to get the guy up the mountain and then down before the snow started to stick.
Did he notice your frettiness?
I was just, I mean, I may have said something, but it definitely, like, he gave me a $10 tip afterwards, so it wasn't like,
you're like, hey buddy, we might go flying off this mountain.
No, luckily, like the roads were still fine by the time I got back,
right.
But it was definitely like I could, like, there was just snow over the entire, on the roads and all that stuff, and I was just like, okay, and I need to make sure this doesn't go down south.
Well, you survived.
I survived, but yeah, that was my weekend, was the housewarming, and then when I wasn't doing that or playing games, I was driving.
There was some footballs.
God damn it, Paul.
Yeah,
I
that's
did-
right.
Fuck
Paul's
you.
here, so
Fuck
someone else
you.
knows about football.
I did watch the end of that game too, and
Which of the missed kicks did you see?
I saw the last one.
The missed kicks weren't the problem. It was the play calling that led to us kicking in both of those situations.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we have this timeout. Should we use it? Nah, it's fine. McManus can kick it like with 5 seconds.
I mean, McManus is awesome, and normally he is money. He was clearly off, but it was also super windy, and their kicker was missing shit all the time.
It
too.
wasn't windy during the last kick,
It wasn't
That's
windy
true.
during his
Yeah.
last kick.
but it was in his head.
He had missed
Yeah.
the 62-yarder,
Yeah.
and it was a game winner, and all this pressure and bullshit.
It was in his head, yeah. I forget his name, but did you see the Texans coach after that?
Thank
He was
you,
like,
Vance
yeah.
Joseph, you dumb motherfucker, or something. like he's trying to backpedal and be like, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. But like,
Yeah.
I've seen multiple people are like, my wife is deaf. She reads lips. That's what he said.
Nice.
I mean, I'm
Clearly
not
what-
deaf. I can't read lips. That's what he
That's
said.
what he said.
Yeah.
And the worst thing about that loss is that I spent all day refreshing my phone waiting to see the words Vance Joseph is fired, and he wasn't, which means that I'm stuck with Vance Joseph for the rest of the season. So I'm just
Well, I
at
mean,
this
the
point,
season's over.
It's
so,
a wash now,
I mean, you
yeah.
might as well. What's the point in firing him mid-season? You just got to pay 2 people to
Well,
be terrible.
fire him, and then hopefully, and I guess this just shows they have no faith in anybody else on the staff to step in.
That's probably what. Yeah, that's probably
because
what it
if
is.
you had somebody you thought could step in and you could get a feel for if they could actually take over,
yeah.
then you'd fire him.
Yep.
But the most damning thing about this game, it was after the game, somebody interviewed Demaryius Thomas, who has played for the
He played
Broncos
like
for
shit,
9 years.
By the way,
He didn't have a great game for the Texans, but yeah. And after the game, somebody asked him what he thought about the Broncos going soft at the end. They're not pushing for the touchdown or trying to get closer. And he said, that's how they play here. I don't play there anymore. I play in Houston now, and we like to win.
he said we like to win. We like to win over here.
Yeah, we like to win over here.
Yep.
So yeah, the Broncos lost a really bad game. On the plus side, the Raiders got fucking wrecked by the 49ers on Thursday.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
That was beautiful. So that made me happy. But Chiefs continue to do way too well.
Bears beat the Bills 41-9.
Good job. You kicked a child while it was down.
Yeah. What other high school teams have the Bears beat recently?
I
They're
saw
5-3. They're not too bad.
Before the weekend, I saw a stat that the Bills were on pace to have 6 touchdowns and 26 interceptions by the end of the year. Like, good job. You beat the Bills. Like, come on. It's like all the Broncos fans who got really excited when we beat the Cardinals 2 weeks ago.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
The
guys,
Bills,
don't get your hopes up.
Yep.
I
Right.
don't know the exact score. I think the Bears scored 28 points in one quarter.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, Trubisky still played like shit, so enjoy that.
I have no idea who that is.
That's the Bears quarterback.
Okay, good.
Jesus Christ, Jeff.
I look at scores, and that's it.
What a true sports fan.
Yep.
All right, moving on from
Moving on from
NFL
that.
corner.
Jeff, you said you're up in the mountains. What were you doing up there?
I was going to Katie's friend Rose's family cabin that they built with their own hands.
Oh.
So we were just up there hanging out in the mountains. It was snowy. We went through like this ranch area that's around the cabin. It's like a 15-minute drive up a dirt road into the mountains. It's scary when it's dark and snowy.
You turn on those the high beams and you're just like, oh god, so much more snow.
Yes, it's just more snow.
Oh, then you're going, all right, Chewy, punch it.
Yeah.
On the high
Obviously.
beams.
It was up near Kremling, Colorado, which is
Kremling.
which is about 2 hours into the mountains.
Yes.
About northwest of Silverthorne.
Okay. I basically wanted to know if you had actually went snowboarding, and I take it you did not.
No, I did not.
Okay.
Could have. if I wanted to go to A Basin for the first time and figure out what the hell the white strip of death is, which is apparently just ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although they got enough snow over the weekend. It might
They got
not
like
be the white
10
strip
inches of
death.
snow.
Yeah.
It was insane.
I think the death part is more so the massive amount of idiots all over the place.
Everyone that
Also,
is
yes.
all...
Unlike the 3 runs that are open.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
I mean, that's how Keystone's going to be on Wednesday. Get 3 runs and go drink margaritas all day.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah. But this was the type of cabin that they put in electricity like later.
Yeah. My family has one of those too.
Yeah. But it was a lot of fun. Everyone was in charge of various meals. I made breakfast, some like home fries and quiche.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
The next breakfast was, we did not coordinate breakfasts. The next breakfast was hash browns and an egg bake, you would call it.
So, a quiche.
It was in like a rectangular dish
Oh, it's a
instead of
rectangular
a round.
quiche.
Instead of a round, there was no pie crust
Got it.
involved. But it was
So
also very
a
good.
worse quiche.
It was very good. A lot of
But-
cheese.
Worse.
I would eat both.
That's enough of random non-board game related shenanigans. Let's talk about board games. Well,
Mhm.
no, before we talk about board games, I do have a thing to say about video games. I've been trying the Fallout 76 beta over the weekend. Good fucking God, is that game boring. Game is real boring. That's all I have to say about it.
I have not been able to try it.
Yeah, you said it was a Fallout game, right?
It was boring. Duh.
No.
Boring.
No.
Oh my God. No. Absolutely. So
No.
wrong. So wrong.
The worst thing about it, like, so Fallout games, there's NPCs and stuff. You can go interact. Like, there's no NPCs in this game. There's a handful of, like, robots you can talk to. But if... And
It's all supposed to be player engagement.
Yeah, but then you're just running around playing with a bunch of players who are being dicks. It's not like there's even a good way to be like, oh, I'm the shopkeeper player, and now you interact with me. And it still takes place 25 years after the fact when there should have still been some people alive, but mysteriously, that Virginia or wherever it actually takes place, I can't remember.
West Virginia.
West Virginia, just no fucking people. I'm sure the storyline somehow explains why there's no fucking people in Virginia,
Yeah,
but it's fucking stupid.
It's supposed to be a multiplayer Fallout game, and it seems like there's not really enough content there for what it is.
No.
And it's supposed to be all players kind of making the enjoyment with other players by building city or building your towns.
I mean,
and
if
things
you're-
like that.
I played for 12 hours. I met 2 other people. One of them didn't have a mic on, and the other one did, and he was very friendly.
Well, this is a
Oh.
beta, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
we'll see
still.
what the live. Well, what's going to happen in live? It's going to crash, and everyone's going to hate it.
Yes. I mean, everybody already hates it. So, yeah, when it really goes live, it's going to get real bad.
I mean, if you're relying on players to like be nice to each other and
But it's
make up
not-
the
it's
content, you're
not-
gonna have a bad time.
Not specifically be nice to each other, but make interesting stories happen through player engagement. Like,
Still doesn't work.
I think it's gonna be
We'll
a bunch
see.
of people teabagging each other.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that might be what it turns into. But
well,
we'll
also,
s-
like, one of the things, like, I didn't get to experience this because I didn't play enough, but I was watching a YouTube video after the fact when I was looking for people to confirm that I was right and that it sucked. And there was a guy who was talking about, like, he tried doing PvP, and the problem is like, if you go and just start shooting somebody, it's like I want a PvP, I'm going to start shooting you. You do, like, dramatically reduce damage until they shoot back. So if they just ignore you, you can't hardly hurt them. Like, it takes forever to kill them. So you just become this buzzing nuisance that's like a death by 1,000 cuts while they're trying to build their base.
I mean, that sounds more enjoyable. Just harassing people. You're not really doing
Zach
much.
is
They're
like,
just
Zach
like,
is like, wait, I could just be a dick and just like a hassle.
It also just
Sweet.
makes snipers completely useless. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I got this sweet drop on this guy.
Well, does
Did
it only
3
matter-
damage.
does it only matter if they're in their base? What if they're out in the just general world?
From what I understand, it's period.
Okay.
Like, yeah. Like, because the guy was saying he's like the one, like, he got in this little like feud with the guy. The guy didn't fight him for a long time. Like, he was shooting the guy, like, boom, 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 shooting as the guy goes around and places a bunch of turrets. and then the guy turns around and shoots him, and all his turrets just gun him down. He's like, well, that sucks. I was shooting for 20 minutes, and I couldn't do enough damage to kill him. And then as soon as he builds all his turrets and shoots me, he does full damage to me.
All right, never mind. Never mind. I'm in now. I'm in.
yeah, it sounds like he should have been building turrets too.
Yeah, that's where he went wrong.
I don't know if the base building can build bases over each other, but that'd be great.
Yeah.
Warring bases.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck you. I have
Then it
20
becomes
turrets.
like a tower defense game.
right. I think I have more turrets than you. Bang.
But why play Fallout 76 when you can play Red Dead Redemption 2?
I have played Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, it's real good. I haven't had enough time to really put any.
I've heard, is it too realistic for some of the shit that you have to do?
So a lot of the
The
stuff that
start
people
is real slow.
Not just that too, but just all the actions you have to. It's like when you skin someone, you're not just like
something.
No,
I haven't skinned someone yet.
You know. It's not like Assassin's Creed Odyssey where you literally in a horseback run by something and skin them right as you're going by them. But it's like, oh, well, I got to get down on my knees. I got to start.
I mean, the first one was that way, though.
No,
the first one had really long, drawn out.
It wasn't as
Skinny
long.
animals.
It was not as long as these.
They're longer.
It is definitely like, I'm going to skin this
They're
bear.
longer.
I'm going to take as long as it takes to actually skin a bear.
Yeah.
Like you have time to go make a sandwich.
Yeah. I heard someone.
But
yeah.
hang on.
Okay.
You don't do it that much. When you're doing it, it is like you can only carry one skin. It's not like you're skinning the whole fucking wilderness
Yeah.
But you
and
know
taking
there's-
it back with you. You actually have to carry it with you and take it back to a tanner and stuff like that.
But you
That's
know
where
there's still
can-
those fucking achievements where it's like skin 400 bear. It's like, God damn it.
I'm going to spend a decade skinning bears in this game.
Yeah,
or it's an
seriously.
actual
Yeah.
decade.
But like I'd heard someone who was like playing Texas Hold'em poker, and it's just it's like when it's at the end of each round and the next person deals, and what they do is that they like get the cards together,
They're doing-
lean up, hand it over to the next person, get back down, and it's
They actually go through the motions.
they go through the game is about going through the motions.
There is a button to skip.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
just skip to where the 3 cards are out and
Okay.
you're starting to call and
Okay.
stuff like that. You don't actually have to sit there for the
Gotcha.
motions.
Okay.
Not everything has a skip button.
No, you're searching through a cupboard. You'll watch them search
You're
through.
opening that up. You're picking that up. You're putting it in your pocket. You're picking up the next one. And it's not press. It's hold.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
hold the button.
No, I use a lot of holding of buttons.
Yeah.
Although I heard with cigarettes, though, like somebody's complaining that, like, of all the things I've long drawn out animations, it gives them anxiety to light a cigarette, take a drag, and throw the cigarette away after one drag. They're like, it gives me anxiety that he doesn't finish the cigarette.
No, that's all you do. That's
Yeah.
it.
But there is a lot in the game where you do. Like, if you're eating or something like that, you'll actually, like, sit there and, like, spoon.
Yeah.
Or, like, you're drinking coffee. You'll take multiple sips.
I mean, and it's about living in this world.
yes.
For better or for worse.
Yeah.
Now, question: have you? Still, one of my favorite moments in Red Dead Redemption 1 is I was lining up the red eye, whatever it's called, Deadeye. I was lining up when I was on a horse, and then right when I was about to shoot somebody,
Yep.
my horse's head went, "Woo!" Dipped its head right up, and I shot my own horse in the head, fell off of it.
I have not come across
This
that
is
yet.
mid stride too, by the way.
Yeah. I haven't used the Deadeye as much.
Okay.
I don't think
Steph-
I've even gotten to that yet.
Yeah, it's like the Deadeye upgrades as you play, and it begins with like it'll just mark whatever you bring the cursor across.
Right.
And now I'm at the one where I can actually like hit R1 to target where I want.
Oh, gotcha.
But you need to like all the meters. You need to spend a lot of time like doing specific things to like get it up.
Mhm.
And I'm still pretty low on that.
Gotcha.
I only have one complaint about Red Dead Redemption 2, and that's that it does not exist on PC yet. Otherwise, I definitely would have.
I would say
I would have done whatever I had to do to find the $60 to buy that game.
I think the current wording they've used about the PC version of Red Dead Redemption 2 is we currently have no plans to bring it to PC, and that's total bullshit.
Yeah, oh yeah, they definitely have plans for it. Yeah, so unless I suddenly come into a bunch of money and can afford to buy a new video game system.
You can get it on the Xbox.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's not going to be...
It's fine.
it's fine.
You can play with
playing
Paul.
on
He's playing on the
Fine.
Xbox.
Yeah. You can play with me and Dan.
Then it's only six. Yeah.
It's only $60.
All
right. That's video game corner. Now we get on to board games. Jeff, in all your gallivanting around in the mountains, / the 2 weeks prior to that it's been since the last time we talked about what we've been playing. What have you played?
Up in the cabin, I introduced some people to some games. They generally, well, there's no like TV or anything up there, so I introduced them to King of Tokyo, which they had never played before. I introduced that as Yahtzee makes King of the Hill meets Godzilla. They were all confused for a second and thinking
The
I was talking
TV
about
show?
the TV
Yeah.
show. And they're like, I don't really see that
Can
part.
I play as Bobby?
But after that, they were
I have
like,
to sell
oh.
propane?
Pocket sand.
But after that, they were like, oh, that is the perfect descriptor of this game. It was easy to teach. I haven't played
Yeah.
it forever. I'm not sure I ever even played the copy I own. I was eliminated first.
Nice.
It was
Sounds about right.
six players. Then we played Now Boarding. Katie picked up a copy of that because she liked it so much.
Uh-huh.
We stayed up late and drank a bunch of Baptist and played through that. It looked like it was going real bad,
Mm-hmm.
but we got I think we didn't deliver only like 3 people in a 4-player game.
Gotcha.
It went much better than I was expecting, with 2 brand new players, Katie who had played once, and then me that had played 5 times or so now. Played another game called Wizard. I had not heard of it, but apparently they have played it a fuckload. It is a trick-taking game. It is a standard 52 deck cards, but then there is 8 extra cards in the deck. 4 wizards, W's, and 4 jesters, it's like a J-E kind of symbol. You play a certain amount of rounds depending on how many players there are. The first round, you start off with 1 card each, 2 rounds, 2 cards, etc., etc., etc. It's a trick-taking game. You deal out the cards, you flip over the top card for whatever the trump suit is. The wizards will always win. Jesters will always lose. The reason that's important in this game, it's not about getting the most tricks. You always want to bid how many you think you can win. And it starts to the person to the right of the dealer. People can be like, I can win 1. When you only have 1 card in your hand, there's only 1 trick. Or you can bid as you get more and more cards in your hand and there's more tricks to take. You can bid 3 or 4, or insane people will do more than that. But I mean, when you get 10 cards in your hand, you can be like, oh, I might have a chance at more than 1. High card is ace. And then there is, you kind of always want to keep the bids to about as many tricks as there is, because the dealer bids last, and the dealer can't bid to make it even. So there always has to be a loser. So if there's 2 tricks and people go 0, 0, 1, 1, and then it goes back to the dealer, they can't say 0 because there's 2 tricks. They have to be they basically have to bid 1, even though they think they can't win 1. So there's always a loser. And then you get a certain amount of points based on if you got as many tricks as your bid or not. So it's just kind of a basic throwing down suits that you have to follow, most trick-taking games. But those W's and J's really screw things up. Because someone can throw down a suit of clubs. You have the high card in clubs, but you don't want to win. You can throw down that jester because you want to use that club high card later, because you only bid 1 and you don't want to bid 2. Or you don't want to win 2 because you only bid 1.
Right.
So you're trying to go back and forth, seeing if you want to win or lose based on those auto win, auto lose cards.
Right on.
I ended up winning.
What?
I have no idea. I started bidding high and I just kept fucking getting it.
Seems like a bullshit game then.
Because yeah, that was fun. It was fun kind of basic trick-taking card game without all the crazy mechanics that we seem to throw into all of ours.
Yeah.
So sorry, I think you said this, but you get penalized if you take tricks more than
you'll start getting negative points and things like that for not getting what you bid.
So spades-esque or not?
Yeah.
Really?
So how negative?
It's I bid 3 and I got 2, so I go down negative 30 or something like that.
That's what spades is too.
Okay, it sounds. I haven't played spades.
What if you bid 2 and you get 4?
I think you go down negative 40, maybe. I never scored. Other people were scoring for me, so I'm not 100%
So you
sure.
don't even know if you actually won.
So
I saw the scores, and I had 260 points.
But you don't know if that was scored accurately.
Well, I wasn't scoring it, so I am positive that they knew what they were doing.
So you luck boxed your way to victory.
I knew I knew how to play. I just didn't know how to score.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because I've also never played spades, so
I'm curious. It sounds spades-esque with that being punished for going over. I'm curious how it actually would play out.
I'll have to check it out. Wizard.
Yeah.
Cool.
For myself, over the last few weeks, I haven't played a lot of games. Megan was on her last few days here before she's right now in Colombia having apparently a really good time. I'm pretty jealous, but and then I had family in town and things like that. So I haven't got to play a lot of games. But 2 that I did play that stood out were both new games for me. I played, Zach, remind me of the name, the Moon game.
Catch the Moon.
Catch the Moon. I always want to say Reach the Moon. Catch the Moon. So this is very Suspend-esque type game where you're trying to place awkwardly shaped things on other awkwardly shaped things without making everything fall down, kind of. So on your turn, you roll a die, and it has 2 1-ladder symbols, 2 2-ladder symbols, And what else is it, Zach?
The moon.
And then 2 moons?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a 1/3 for each.
Okay. If you roll the 1 ladder, then the ladder you place has to touch exactly 1 ladder. If you roll the 2 ladder, it has to touch exactly 2 ladders. The moon lets you choose whether it touches 1 or 2, but it can never touch more than 2. And the ladders are all slightly differently shaped and all awkwardly balanced, and you end up with this big, stupid, jumbled mess, and you're trying to figure out how to like get your ladder to go on there. And if at any point your ladder touches more than however many it's allowed to, or if any ladder in the stack like touches the cloud, the base of the board, then you take a tier. And there's like, 9 tiers in the game?
7.
7?
Yeah.
And the game goes until there's no more tiers. Whoever has the most tiers is out. You lose.
Well, and it's whoever takes the last one is immediately out, and then it's based on
immediately out.
And then it's whoever has the least amount of tiers then. So even if, say, we were playing and all 3 of you had 2 tiers each, if I was the person to take the last tier, even though I only had 1, I would be out.
And then we'd all be
totally
in tiebreaker
happened
mode.
to me.
Yeah, well, tiebreaker mode is you basically keep playing as long as there's still ladders, except it's only the moon that you do. So you have to keep building a higher and higher thing.
Oh, yeah, because that's the other thing with the moon that I didn't mention.
Mm-hmm.
If you do the moon, you can do 1 or 2, but your ladder has to be the new tallest ladder.
Yeah, like the peak of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was fun. It's a good change from Suspend.
Yes.
I think it might even be better than Suspend.
I think it replaces Suspend.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's cheap. It's yours, Zach.
Yes.
Like Suspend is like $12 or something.
Well, it's not that cheap, but
okay, well,
I would say,
but it might be eventually.
Eventually, yeah. I would say it definitely replaces it, mainly in the sense that Suspend can take a lot longer than you would expect.
Yeah.
If it
Suspend games with us are like 40-minute affairs. It's fucking ridiculous.
Well, because you get down to when you get down to 1 color and Suspend, you're 1 out of 6 chance you'll even get to place your last piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In this one, you're always getting to pull and place a piece.
Yeah, exactly.
So it loses based on failure, not on successes.
Exactly.
The game ends based on failure. Don't look at it. Don't look
Why
at it.
is it still here?
Oh, I thought you
Do
were
I need to buy you a lampshade?
I thought you were shrieking away just because of how bad you were at the game.
Oh my god! I fucking thought we were gonna make it through that without you bringing it up. For as good as I am at dexterity games, I'm shockingly bad at balancing bullshit dexterity games.
Yeah,
I had no tiers. Everyone else had at least 1, and I was like, I'm gonna win this fucking game. And of course, I took the last one.
Yep.
Oh, so you did good until you just failed right at the end.
Yeah, he had the critical fail.
Yeah.
I did great until I got last.
Yeah.
Critical error.
Yeah.
I was doing fantastic, and then I got last.
Yeah.
You know what? You just shouldn't have had it
It's
hit
an
the
Adrian
ground.
special.
Yeah.
Lily's placement was bullshit, and you know it.
There's a lot of bullshit. What I really like is that the ladders are different sizes, and I want to implement a rule that whenever you grab a ladder, that's just the one you have, because then it'll actually make, because the ladders are different widths and stuff like that. One person grabbed the ladder, they're gonna try and stuff it between another ladder, but it was too thin, and so it just was like it went straight through, and they're like, oh no, this is not gonna work out.
This is not the ladder I wanted.
Yeah.
And then they switched it for a different one?
Yeah, they switched it for a different one.
Yeah, I think a good house rule would be like, once you grab a ladder, that's your ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I play that way. I do enjoy it, even though I'm real bad.
Yeah.
The other game I played was...
And it looks good.
Yes, it does.
It does look...
nice.
Although it becomes an awkward jumble of ladders.
Yeah,
in the base.
And it has a nice felt-lined box.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
That's why it's maybe too expensive.
Yeah, they could probably get rid of the felt.
The other game I played was Spirits of the Forest, which we had talked about, I don't know, like a year ago when it was on Kickstarter. And essentially, it's a set collection type game where there's 3 rows of tiles, and the tiles all have a variety of like different symbols on them. And on the end, on your turn, you can take tiles from the edges of the 3 rows. You can take 2 tiles if each of them only have 1 symbol, or you can take 1 tile that has 2 symbols. And then at the end of the game, whoever has the most of a given color gets however many symbols they have as points. Anybody who has none of that gets -3. Everybody else just gets 0. And so you're trying to balance, like, okay, which ones can, like, do I want to try and get a little bit of everything so I don't get any negatives? But then also you need to win some to get positive. And you're just trying to kind of balance that as you draw these tiles. You have little blocker stones. You have 2 of them that you can put out to reserve a space. And basically, if you've reserved a space, somebody else can take it, but they have to then discard from the game one of their 2 stones. So you can still take, if somebody blocks something really, really good, you can take that gamble. Like, hey, maybe this is worth it. I'll still take it and just get rid of one of my blocking stones. And then there's little tokens that go down on some of the tiles that when you take them, you look at them and they can either count as an extra symbol for a given tile, so you don't know the exact number of symbols that are in a given set, or some of them will let you take a stone that you've discarded from the game and bring it back into the game.
And you can keep it if you haven't already discarded something, so you can then use, get something someone's reserved and then immediately get your stone back. So
because you just keep those little tokens face down until you are using them, whether that's in final scoring or to bring a stone back. It was a lot of fun. The components were really good in the copy we played. There was one tile that had like some fucked up little chipping going on it that was unfortunate, but everything else looked really good. I liked the gameplay. It was for a game that's so simple in what you can do. It was another one of those where it's like, shit, like there's only 6 end pieces. Like I have to take some of those, but what's the right ones to take at the right times? And like who has what and what numbers, who's leading where? Like, oh, this one, there's only 5 of them. Like it says very clearly on there, it'll show like a 5 and then have the symbol. And that means there's only 5 of that symbol in the game. So you can look before you take and be like, well, shit, Paul's already got 4 of this symbol. I'm not going to be able to win it at all. But if I take this one, then Zach and Jeff can't. They're going to get -3 each. So Paul's going to get, his 4. They're going to lose 3. And I'm going to stay at 0. And then I just maybe got to go work somewhere else. So it's kind of got some really interesting decisions about what to take and what not to take. I liked it.
So I backed it. I've been trying to get it to the table. Not very hard, but
I would definitely say it's a pretty good game night game. I'm curious to see how the expansions play.
Yeah, well, I have those, so
there you go.
Yeah. Lily had the expansions, but since it was everybody's first time, and it was at a point in the game night, like Megan left for Columbia that night, and so it was like we've got like an hour and a half. So if you're willing to start this game, just know that we are hard leaving in an hour and a half, whether it's done or not. And so it's like, okay, well, we'll leave the expansions out. We'll just learn the base game. And it finished in about an hour, because then we played the
Catch the Moon
after that. So
gotcha. Cool.
It plays nice and quick, too.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I only saw it at a glance, but I noticed the components looked awesome.
That's why I backed it.
Yeah. I mean, it's by the people that did Tao Ling. So, yeah. Okay.
Paul, what about you? What have you played recently?
Short, just not much.
Here come 30 games.
Yeah, quick filler games. That's it.
Well, we played TI4.
Yes, we did.
At my place. David and I's place. It was the 3 of us.
No, it was 2 of us. Jeff wasn't there.
Oh, Jeff wasn't there. That's right. Why do you keep missing these?
What day was it?
It was a week ago Saturday.
I think I just didn't want to.
Yeah, he just didn't want to.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Fucking rude.
It was us 2, David, Wes,
Nick,
and Bob.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. It was a good time. It was very long.
It was a 14-point game instead of a 10-point game.
That might have played
Which may have been the first time many of you have ever done that.
I think it was the first time anyone's ever done it.
A 14 out of TI3.
First one ever.
All right. Well, relax. Maybe Bob has played 14 for TI3.
I might have done a 14-point on TI3 too. Okay. I don't know, but it was definitely our first time for TI4.
I certainly have never.
Yeah.
It was long. It was
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was 12 hours total. The first hour of that was like setup and bullshittery.
And then we had like an hour and a half.
Sorry. Yeah. Who all was playing?
It was Paul, me,
Zach.
Yes.
You know what? Sometimes
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I, Zach.
Yeah.
And then it was Bob, Wes, David, and Nick.
Okay. The classic crew.
Crew,
yeah. Pretty classic. So we took an hour and a half lunch where we made fries that I thought were really good.
Yes. Deep fried twice
fried fries.
Yeah.
Those were solid. So I was in a really good position at the end of the game.
All right.
And Zach convinced everyone to attack me.
Okay, well, there you got a little. Okay, so first off, this is the first game we played in a long time where the pirates weren't there.
Yeah, fuck the pirates.
So that was nice.
That was really nice.
Playing the 14-point game, Paul was in a very good position, and it was on the turn. Paul had 8, which is the Imperial. He was on Megatal Rex, and so he would have gotten a point to be able to claim an objective, which he would have been able to do. And so the most impassioned speech I've ever done to just convince fucking anybody. I couldn't do it because I was the turtles, and guess what? I was turtling.
Shocking.
I
Got your space cannon flagship out.
Anybody who went in any of my spaces would have to deal with 10 PDS shots.
Wow.
Christ.
Out of 5+.
Is that
Christ.
what gave you the extra PDS shot? Did you have just all the PDS out?
I had all the PDSs out. I had my my flagship,
which throws 3, right?
yes, and then also plasma scoring, which gives you an additional 1.
Okay.
Yeah, and then because they had deep space cannon, they were at a +1, so they're at 5, and any adjacent spot. I had 3 spots. I was like, you go anywhere in here, you're getting fucking shot down.
Let's not attack the turtles all game. What could go wrong there?
Yeah. So I had a super impassioned speech.
Yes.
To convince people to attack, and like everybody was doing the thing. It's like, well, I can't do it. Like I literally couldn't do it, so I had to try and get other people. And then I'm like, no, look, if you do it, you guys can all attack with PDS. You guys can take Paul down. And then everyone, like, eventually everybody like got together because it was if we got to 8 at the end of that first round,
It was over.
It was over.
It was over.
And so I was able.
What got to 8?
Like we went to turn 8, or everybody went to 8. He would have done Imperial, and then the Imperial strategy.
And people were so close to not attacking me. They were like, no, I'm going to do this first.
Yeah,
and I was like, yeah, do that first.
No, and I was just like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
I was like, if you know that if you don't do anything, you're not doing anything else in this fucking game. And I got super passionate. And the reason why is because I was fucking 1 turn away from winning. And I was just like, the only way I can win is if Paul doesn't fucking win.
But I got the last laugh.
Yeah.
When David attacked Zach, and I thought David had a pretty good chance of winning.
Okay, so what happened is Paul got fucked over hard.
Yeah, I had 0 capital ships on the board.
I convinced everybody to just decimate Paul.
Oh my
No
God.
destroyers.
No destroyer.
I had nothing.
And I had
some fighters.
Oh God. So what it was is that after the end of that round, I was gonna try and take 8, the 8 strategy, and then I would have won with that. And it would have been amazing because everybody was talking about fighting,
but it wasn't.
I know, because unfortunately everything was going my way until Nick ended up being the speaker, and he was the person right before me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, people started convincing him that they didn't need to take, or they didn't want David or Paul, even though Paul was just out of the game at that point. They didn't want David or Paul to get 8. And I was just like, fuck. Nick wasn't supposed to take this. This is not how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, I don't know what they were talking about with me.
I know.
I was like, I'm gone.
Yes.
I have been wiped.
Yeah.
I've been wiped from existence.
No, Nick's supposed to play the game in that he always plays it of he's just always trying to fulfill his goals. He's not trying to stop other people.
Yep.
So he wasn't supposed to take 8. And then he ended up taking it, and I got super pissed because I was like, motherfucker. And then I would have been able to do it had I got to the end of the game, the end of the round.
Remind me exactly what 8 does again.
8 is that's
whoever
where
has Mechatol.
Whoever has Mechatol can get a point, and then also you can claim a public objective.
So it's the only way to score 2 public objectives
Yes.
in one.
And all I needed was like I think it was like I needed 10 trade goods.
Yeah.
That's what I had. I was super turtled up. I was like, I see my path to victory. I was like at 6 points, or no, I was at like 8 points, 2 turns, and then the next 2 turns, I got 3 points each time.
Wow.
And then Bob and I had traded previously. We had traded the support of the throne, so I only needed 13 points. Like I had an extra point from that too, and it was going to be the best game ever had I been able to win that.
And then I bet my support for the throne on his battle with David.
Yeah.
And he lost.
Which I will say, had you not offered that, David would not have attacked me with his full force because you offered the game to him. So I'm just saying, he had a bunch of war sons and shit like that.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the worst on people.
He was the worst on people.
The furnace people.
Yeah. But I had a card that was a bunker that increased his bombardments up by a +4. So he was hitting on 7s and 9s.
Wow.
And he got like
It was a lot of 10s.
He got 6 out of 8 of his hits were hit. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Brutal.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You had the ultimate turtle action card.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, right? But basically...
Yeah, fuck that card, by the way.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah. But had he not done that, it would have been a race between Nick taking over Mechatol Rex, David...
Which he could have done.
Well, yeah, he would have had to fight David's War Sons because David would have tried to keep it.
Sure, yeah.
And then them fight. It would have been a much more interesting, like 3-person trying to figure out who's going to win. Everybody was really close to winning except for Paul. So it was definitely
after I should have won.
Well, you
if you hadn't made that speech, everybody would have done their own thing.
I know.
I would have won. It would have been great.
Do you know how amazing that game would have been if I would have been able to win through that and how like not attacking anybody at all and all that, and I was.
You know what? My 3 fighters and 2 dudes on the map were like, we remember this fuck, and we're pledging our support to David.
Yeah,
because he didn't War Son fuck me.
That's true.
He could have.
Yeah. All right, we should probably get on from just talking about the game itself.
Real quick.
Yeah. Oh, we played with Distant Suns from TI3, which I really enjoyed. We got rid of the major fuck yous, like the everybody who landed here is dead, and we also got rid of half of the nothings, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of stuff happening. It was mostly good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, and then you guys played to 14 points.
Yes.
So what did you guys think about that? How did 14 points play out?
I really liked it. I felt like
everybody.
There were more fights.
Yeah, there were definitely a lot more fights. A lot of everybody else was pro going to 14 again.
Yeah.
Except for me. I would still prefer 10 because at 10, so if you add up all of the points, you have to get pretty much everything except for one objective in order to, like, outside of other points to get that 14, there are 15 points from objectives in total.
Well, you also get 3 secrets.
Besides secrets, but it's still...
And Mechatol.
And
the Distant Suns point, which you could get.
But also that's not in the... Well, in a way, whatever. But anyway, it's a lot harder. Like, it's definitely... That's why everybody sort of just got near the same, was because everybody got most of the points that they were going to be able to get, and then people just started fighting.
Which I guess if you really want it to be a fighting game.
Exactly.
It's not that I want it to be a fighting game. It's just that when we all build up our forces the whole game, and then somebody wins and we've had one fight, it's just like, well, that was unfulfilling.
See, I feel like...
Maybe we could go to 12. Maybe there's a happy medium.
Maybe.
But it's just like, I understand like the Cold War-esque.
Yeah, exactly.
I understand
mutually
you both
assured
like
destruction.
that. Sure, I get it. It's fine. But we all have these fucking huge war sons and shit. Let's blast the shit out of people.
I mean, you could do that at any point. You could do that at any point, except you don't want to do it because you want to win.
Of course.
Yeah. So
I'm also, for me, I'm dice adverse.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I could go fight with my huge fleet, but that means I got to roll dice. And I'm going to roll real bad. And my big fleet's going to get fucked by one fucking carrier with 2 fighters and a couple guys on the ground.
Oh, I really liked it. I don't know how I feel about the race that I played. I played the nerds that have a -1 in combat.
It fucked him over a lot.
Yeah.
At one point, when I was first person, I was like, basically my entire game, I spread out a little bit, went to Mechatol, took that point, and then immediately turtled back up. Oh, and then I have to talk about the laws too.
I don't remember that.
Okay.
I was also real drunk.
He was real drunk.
This is the last third of the game, at least.
Would you like to know something cool? If you get Paul drunk, he develops a conscience.
Wait.
That was real bad.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
No.
You know what?
Apparently I opined about like my
attacking
my
Bob
feelings.
for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
He also asks what the objectives are every 5 seconds.
Well, they put them all the way at the end.
And I took a picture. I was like, Paul, would you like me to take a picture of that for you? And he's like, yes. I did that to him, and then he immediately just started asking again. And I was just
I forgot that you sent it to me. It was a good time, but it was pretty extended.
Okay.
I also went out after that, which was probably a mistake.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Yes.
Oh my God.
During the Senate phase, we had 2 laws stick that were really interesting that I liked as the turtle people. One was we had one that gave everybody. No, this was right when I was leaving Mechatol. So I had Mechatol for a long time. Once again, Paul put a bunch of ships over Mechatol Rex. He didn't bring any guys to actually invade it. So he just gave me air cover, and I was like, this is awesome.
I don't know why I keep doing this. Seriously.
Need troops.
Yeah. Well, and
I think I brought a couple, but they got mowed down or something.
No,
I didn't bring any.
I didn't have anybody on there. That's the one where you tried to destroy my ships, but your ships firing were so bad that I was able to escape. Your 6 shots, they all missed.
I feel like
my carrier.
So I feel like there was a lot of times where if I didn't have the -1, I would have hit. But it's like, oh great, I have all these -1s on literally all of my ships.
Yeah. But the 2 laws were, the first one was it was a Senate Like we turned it into a Senate where just no matter
Oh yeah.
planets didn't matter. Everybody got one vote.
Yep.
And I was like, 100% yes, we're doing this. A decent amount of people were against it. And then I had a shitload of influence planets, and I'm like, I'm going to use all of them because I don't care. I don't care. I'm about to lose Mechatol Rec. I'm allowed to lose a lot of my influence. So I'd rather everybody just vote once.
That was really annoying.
It was great. And then...
Was there something for breaking ties in that scenario?
yeah,
Yeah,
speaker.
speaker.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
because there were 6 of you playing, right?
Yeah, so speaker gets 2 votes basically.
yeah, and I used a lot of writers to basically
Yep.
anytime I threw a writer on something, everyone's like, all right, well, we can't let Zach have that, so we're gonna do the opposite thing. So I was like, what do I want to happen? Well, I'm gonna be voting against that with my writer. It always worked out well. And then the other one was we got everybody War Sun technology, but War Suns could no longer
Oh, that was so sustained.
they could no longer sustain. Because the 2 people in the lead were David and Paul, and they both had War Suns. So I was like,
It was the turn after I got War Suns
it was
too.
great.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
So your War Suns just can't sustain anymore, even though you had the tech for it, basically?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah. And what was great is at least once we had a law come up that was like, hey, you guys get to repeal a law. And as the turtle people, I was immediately, nope, we're not doing that one.
Yeah, we're not repealing shit. Yeah, I don't care about your War Suns. Nice War Suns, by the way.
Exactly. It was a lot of fun, though.
It was fun.
I do like the politics in
Yes.
that game.
So anyway, we also played more Imperial Assault.
Yeah.
And I'll keep this one short
Okay.
because I'm getting eyes from Adrian.
But not like the good eyes.
Not the good eyes.
And also, we lost real hard twice.
Yes, we did.
And I almost broke Ant's saltometer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was getting real angry with me.
Oh, dear.
But some of those missions, so
It was
my
the-
biggest critique of Imperial Assault, and I know I've said this 100 times. Well, I've only been on the show 4 times, 3 times, whatever we're at now.
But we know you say that into the darkness. All like
I
just
do.
into the void.
Constantly.
You're at home and you're
Constantly.
just yelling things about Imperial
yelling-
Assault.
I don't understand why either way, whether it's like Rebels win or Imperials win, all the missions are just completely unbalanced. It's crazy. And there's polls on BGG that back me up. Some of them are like 80-20, like the Imperials won this. And I guarantee you those 20%
There were some
are
that were like 92% Imperial win.
It's so ridiculous. So I mean, it is fun. I'm having fun. I like our characters this time a lot better. I
would agree with that,
I think we
yeah.
all do.
Because we just played with the base
I'd
game
be
characters
curious to
before.
see like those polls like spread out over like a branch. Like, is it some? Because I know like you're supposed to go like if the Imperials win this one, you go to this mission. If the Rebels win, you go to this mission.
There's some of them where it doesn't even matter.
So like like how much does it? Okay, so the Imperials won here, so it turns into this one that's heavily weighted towards the Rebels.
So yeah,
Or is
so
it like the
it doesn't really
Imperial
do
snowball?
that. It doesn't really do that. The winning side snowballs, and to Ant's credit, he's been trying to like he's adjusted the winnings and stuff, and he's also not even using his influence that he gets from beating us, which makes it even worse.
Well, it's not
Oh my
honestly.
God.
Yeah,
influence.
he should
Influence
be
is what you
demolishing
upgrade.
us or whatever it is. Yeah.
There's like
Um,
special power cards, like class cards that he gets. That I
No,
don't
he's not
think-
using the influence though. He's not
Yeah.
upgrading his side at all.
No,
Yeah.
and he's still crushing us.
Jesus.
Well, actually, technically, we're 3-3 now.
Yeah.
Because we won the first 2, but I don't know. It has a huge snowball problem.
But the first 2, I bet,
But
were
it's still
pretty
fun.
pretty heavy on the rebel side,
They were.
though. Yeah.
they were.
There was one side quest we did with the grenade Wookiee character from one of the more recent expansions. That was like we had to use movement points to pick up barrels and throw barrels, and we couldn't actually attack the doors. And it was dice based how much damage you did it. You threw the red die.
Oh, you would have loved it, Adrian.
Yeah, we were doing so little damage to the doors, and there was a limited supply of barrels that like you could actually roll so bad that you just can't win the mission.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It could
That's
literally
what
be
I love in
impossible.
a board game.
Right?
Yeah. We ended up, I don't think, rolling any 3s, which is what you need to do to just destroy it immediately.
Well, no, it was they
No,
had
it's
4.
Oh, they
Yeah.
had 4.
But
That's
it was
right.
but many times we rolled a 2 and then a 1.
And then we would need a
Like
third.
on every door.
Yeah.
Then we would need a
Oh.
third barrel, which is, I think there's only one side that has a 1
Yeah.
on it.
There was a chance that we would have been able to do it had my movement come up with 2 movement instead of 1.
Oh my god.
And I think when Ant then gave us an extra turn to go to turn 7
Uh-huh.
instead of ending it
Oh,
at 6.
Man.
But then we all got wounded, so it was fine. Like we
Yeah.
we lost anyway. But
yeah.
Ouch.
And then I read a BGG post where someone had gone through the mission with no Imperial player at all, and it took them 5.5 turns to win.
What?
Yeah. That's why Ant was like, okay, I'll give you an extra turn.
Yeah.
Just like based off that. And we got close, but we didn't make it.
Yeah.
So my saltometer, or his saltometer, based on my saltiness.
Yeah.
You understand.
You threw so much salt at him. He was like, I can't take the salt
yeah.
anymore.
He threw it back at me.
It's very much a saline solution.
Yeah. Well, fine, you get an extra turn, and then you lose anyway. Well, yeah, that's what you get.
Yep.
Imperial assault. It's a saline solution.
Yes.
Despite my complaininess, I do like it still.
Okay.
Believe it or not.
But anything else?
Yes. I still haven't talked yet.
Oh, you talked so long about
I know.
TI. You
I know.
like took over the TI. It confused me.
I told Paul this too, that half the time it's always like anybody else start talking and I'm like, yes, I also played that, and then I'll just start talking. I'll do it quick.
Lamentations.
Lamentations.
Okay.
A new vampire hunter, obviously. This
What happened
Daniel.
what happened to last one again?
I forget what happened.
Was this the burn to death?
Yes. No.
Was that the Guy Fieri
no.
guy?
No, that's God Fury.
No. It was the guy that burned to death.
Okay,
Yes, he was
he
the
just
last
ran
one.
through a burning
I
hallway.
think no, or something else.
Well, but was that the guy who worshipped God Fieri?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
I mean, sort of.
Kinda.
Kinda. Not. No. There's the actual cleric of.
There's the cleric character.
Okay.
That's a different.
That's a different. That was a prequel thing.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No,
that's
these
not,
are-
not
these
one
are-
of your main characters.
No.
Oh, I thought you were still playing that guy this whole time.
No. It was because Lily couldn't play, and so we
had some side
we
story
had some
stuff.
side stuff.
Okay.
But now we're back to our main characters, and in our first fight, my character was trying to punch like
With
he
his
normally.
wealth and privilege.
Yep. And he, obviously he only does like 1 damage, and it was like, well, so he just looked at them disapprovingly, and then I was like, "Are there any swords around?" And he's like, "Yeah, there's some short swords." And I'm like, "Can I dual wield these?" And he's just like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right." I grabbed dual wield. I decided dual wielding swords, and I became a murder machine. It was
You
amazing.
became Jeff from our King of Death Monster.
Yeah.
All right.
Which literally, like, it took me like 1 or 2 rounds to actually start hitting people, but when I did, basically he became a berserker, like a bloodthirsty berserker, including I roll, because with these you roll 2 dice, 1 for each one, and you have a hit bonus on your main hand and no hit bonus on your offhand.
As is the tradition of
in-
D&D.
Yeah, I rolled a 19 for my main hand with a +2, so a 21, and then I rolled a nat 20 on my offhand. And then
What were you fighting at the time?
we were fighting cultists.
Okay.
And so
Who like to kill each other?
yeah, who like to kill
These
not this time around.
Okay.
This one we were going we went to an inn, and then we were trying to wake up or we were trying to stay up because they're like things are off, they're like thieves and shit like that, and so we're like we're going to take turns sleeping and whatnot, and all the other characters got alerted to the guys that were coming from behind, like in a secret panel in their room to try and take them.
Ooh.
My character didn't. He got knocked unconscious and then
Of course.
dragged. But then eventually they got up, and then I started.
Manservant helped, I'm sure.
No, he was sleeping the entire
I
time.
bet he was.
But eventually, I had that roll as a 19 to 20. So then you can either get a double roll, or you can either roll another die, or you can just take double of whatever it is. I decided to take the double. I rolled 2 6s, so I did 18 damage.
Wow.
And so basically, in a whirlwind attack, I killed 3 cultists at once.
Very anime of you.
Yes, pretty much. And then I just went around and just started murdering people left and right. And he was just like, it was great. We went through a cavern thing where there was just like statues of giant snakes with human heads and stuff like that.
Creepy.
We snakes fell on us, and I like immediately killed it right when it was coming on me. And then eventually we got to this trap door. We sneak it up, or we lift it up slightly when Whitney's character like climbed up, and it was just a room that like this woman was in, and, like, but sleeping. And so for whatever reason, Whitney tried to gently wake up the woman, and then the woman's just like, "What are you doing?" And then immediately like jumped out. And so Sorsha, which is Lily's character, both of us decide to just grab the bed, because we're underneath the bed, and just push it on top of the woman and pin her down while we tried to ask her questions. And then she eventually got away. because she like mind freaked me, mind controlled me.
Mind freaked you.
Yeah, mind freaked me.
You held her down?
No, to have me get up and get the bed off of her. And then while I was Whitney's character wanted to try and talk to this person, and then we were holding her down, and we're like, all right, Whitney, or whatever, I forgot what her character's name is. We're like, all right, ask what questions you want to ask. And then the character, she's just like, and like she basically couldn't ask it. She didn't know what question to ask. And we're like, God damn it! So like I stabbed the woman just to be like, just because she mind controlled me, and I was like, this is not a good woman. But then we were sort of arguing a bit, and then she ended up running away, and so now we're chasing her.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I'm sure your characters will just be like in the church, and they'll be like, "Oh, hey guys,
Hey guys, are we burning this down again,
Yeah.
or
we did burn some people, yes."
okay, all right. The tradition continues.
We piled some bodies in front of doors that had people, and then we burned those bodies, and then subsequently the people inside the doors died also.
A very Always Sunny-esque situation.
Yeah.
It was all your enemies.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was Lamentations.
Are we done?
You know what time it is, Jeff?
Are we done?
Yes, I think we're done.
Okay.
So that wraps up what we've been playing, sort of, because now we move into I'm just going to call it right now. It's going to be the bloody 2 minutes.
Bloody hour.
Well, Jeff and Paul are here. It's going to be the bloody 2 minutes.
Right,
Bloody hour.
You have 120 seconds, 60 seconds each, go.
Yeah. Yeah, hard timer right now.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's been a long episode. Nobody wants to hear it.
Yeah.
We've talked about a bunch of nonsense so far. Now we get to the real games.
Uh-huh.
You guys actually going to start talking about it, or are you going to just
All right,
talk about
so
talking about it?
I'd rather build it up some more.
So it's been 2 weeks, 3 weeks probably since a bloody minute. It's been a while. So where are we at, Jeff?
So I played my game against, 3-time champion Phil and his new Nurgle team, which came in fresh with a Strength 5 Nurgle Warrior and a doubles Pestigore with dodge. Game started off really bad for me. He got fame. He got a free reroll. He's only got 2, brings him up to 3. That will continue the trend for the rest of the kickoff events for the game. They were all either cheering fans or brilliant coaching, and he won them. Like, I think he got 3 free rerolls off this game. Started off real bad. He received, which means I had to set up first, and then on the first turn, he knocked down all 3 of the Saurus that were on the line, broke 2 of their armor, thankfully only stunning 2 of them. On his blitz, he also broke the armor of a 3rd Saurus, knocking a 4th one down, also stunning that one. I started turn 1 with 3 stunned Saurus.
Pretty bad.
That's
Pretty
really, really bad. Because I had the strength advantage to him. So basically I had 3 strength 4 guys and some skinks on the field, and that was it. Thankfully, it didn't get much worse than that as the game went on. We sort of just kind of went back and forth. I wasn't really breaking armor, even on his like lighter armored rotters who were only armor 8. Basically, humans with move 5 is what they are. They also have decay, so if you ever hit them and injure them, they take 2 injuries, so they're really easy to get out. Unfortunately, that was not happening very much this game, no matter how much I was hitting him. Was trying to line up some hits against his Nurgle Warriors. Thankfully, his foul appearance didn't really come up more than, I think, twice in the game.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. His Beast of Nurgle was boneheaded, or really stupiding himself, thankfully, on a couple turns. My Croxagore was unfortunately doing that probably just as much. He was keeping the ball pretty well. I got it out a time or 2, and then when I really hit his Pestigore that had the ball, there was a Nurgle Warrior that was right there. Unfortunately, the ball bounced right on top of that Nurgle Warrior, and that Nurgle Warrior needed a 6 and got a 6 to pick up that ball. That move 4 Nurgle Warrior, however, does not go very fast. Unfortunately, on my very next hit, I rolled to blitz with the Crocs, which I got, and then I rolled double both down, which my Crocs does not have any skills yet, so does not have block. Then I went for the loner reroll, got that, rolled double both down again. which was on the first hit of that, trying to get the ball out of his hands, which would have been very easy had I not just fucking rolled like shit. That let him cage up the Nurgle Warrior that had a slow march towards the end. I had, I think, a Saurus KO'd or something at that point, so I wasn't able, even though they're so fast, getting that, basically giving him 2 straight turns in a row, let him put people perfectly to get him where he needed to be. I had like a fucking Hail Mary skink blitz. 2 die uphill against the Nurgle Warrior. Double push. So the skink didn't go down, but it made him actually throw some dice to hit the skink. But then he ended up scoring with his Nurgle Warrior at the end of the half. That got me a turn to bash some stuff, which didn't do anything. Got my KOs back. He got his KOs back. We started fresh on the next half. He got another fucking free reroll. And then I tried to get the ball down the field. Wasn't going so well. Ended up losing the ball back to him. I got like a rotter out or something like that. Ended up with the ball kind of on my end of the field where he was going to score again with his Pestigore. Got a lucky blitz. Got the ball out of his hand. And then I had 1 skink in scoring position on turn 8 with a real shit chain of events that needed to happen. Nurgle Warriors have something called Disturbing Presence. Anytime you need to throw the ball or, I'm sorry, not throw the ball, but catch the ball. Anything but picking it up, basically. I think it's all pass. Is it all pass attempts?
It's pass and catch.
Pass and catch.
And handoff, because handoff is a catch.
And handoff. You get a -1 because they're so gross. There is like a 9 fucking... It's 3
goes
squares
3 out in every direction.
In every direction, you get a -1. It doesn't stack, but if you're in that Disturbing Presence, you just get a -1. So I had to move a skink for a handoff, pick up the ball on a 3+, then I don't think there was any go for it, so basically a 3+, a 6+ handoff. I needed a 6.
It does stack, by the way.
Does it stack?
I thought it did, yep.
So I needed a 6. Yeah, so he can have like a -5 to any passes?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's also even if they're prone or stunned. Just because fuck you.
Jesus Christ.
Don't try and pass or do anything. Doesn't matter. I needed a 6 either way. I was within 2 tackle zones with at least a Disturbing Presence. It was a 6. That was going to be the real key part to this play. Needed a 6, got the 6. This is with no rerolls, by the way.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I was long out of rerolls at this point. So I needed a 3+ pickup, a 6+ for the catch for the handoff, because he was in 2 tackle zones. He is thankfully stunty, so he always has a 3+ dodge. Failed the first dodge, reroll, make it. Needed another dodge, made it. Believe I needed another dodge beyond that. 3 dodges, 3 3+.
Yeah.
Got all 3 of those. And then I needed 2 2+.
Go for it.
Go for it, go for it. Skinks move 8. I needed 10. Get the first, get the second.
What? No.
It was
Jeff
like
succeeded?
It was like a 5% or something.
It was like a 4.6% chance for this play to happen.
And it happened.
And it
Pretty
happened. Getting a 1-1 tie at the buzzer. I've only seen one more horseshit play, which Ant did with like 12 die rolls or something in a row that he needed to succeed. That was also my journeyman skink because I had gotten 2 miss next gamed skinks in the previous match.
You're welcome.
Yep. I then hired that journeyman skink because I needed to hire one anyways.
Fair enough.
Anything was going to get hurt, I got a free journeyman and may as well let that one get hurt and then hire a good one. I'll just hire that one right on. He got 3-star player points. During the MVPs, once again, the Crocs, no MVP.
As is tradition.
As is tradition. Also, the only star player points I got that game, an MVP and a touchdown.
As is tradition.
Yeah, it's been a rough star player point round for me.
Who do you play next?
I play the Hunchbacks of Notre Dame, the Ogres team.
6 Ogre, 5 reroll or something.
Yeah.
Season 3 Ogre team.
Season 3 Ogre team.
Yeah.
Haven't played Ogres before, I don't think.
I managed to get out of there. He's very good. He's very good at positioning his players, which is what you need to be when you play Ogres, because that's all you have.
Yeah. A lot of them have break tackle, so they can basically 2+ dodge into anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
I managed to get out of there with. You'll still win. You should still win.
I am very fast.
They're still ogres. They're still bad. But I managed to get out of there with only one hurt player, who's now been fired. So
Yeah, he's got 2+ move ogres, an edge break ogre, because who cares?
Yep.
Some move break snotlings and an armor break snotling.
I mean, you do want to carry the ball with your ogres, but yeah, one edge break.
Do they still only get block on doubles? They have the same
Yes.
skills and everything, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he's gotten doubles on two
Yeah.
of them.
He's rolled well. Must be nice. Must be nice.
Yeah.
Not bitter at all.
That's fine.
Not bitter at all.
How about you?
All right. I have played 2 games in the past couple weeks. I played Ant, his Underworld, which is a tier 2 team, I guess you'd say. It's not a great team. Definitely not a tier 1 team, but he's rolled insane on his skills.
Oh God, he's just crushing his skill rolls.
Yeah, he has 4 stat ups, which is ludicrous.
Absolutely
Yeah,
ludicrous.
he has 2 edge for thrower rats, and then he has a move 9 blitzer.
So he's rolled an 11 on the 2 characters that need 11s.
That need
Oh,
11s. Yep, and then he's rolled 10s on the same character twice. So it's a tough matchup. Ant's obviously a very good coach, most experienced in the league, I would say.
Well, yeah, almost certainly.
Yeah, I was trying to think if there's any like old dudes, but I don't think so. And I started off, got the fame, got the kickoff, and right out of the gate, it was Armor Break City for Ant. So I don't remember how many I removed the first, like from my line of scrimmage blocks. I think I got at least 1 removal, and it was pretty consistent getting a removal a turn. A lot of KOs. I think I got like 11 or 12 KOs in the game, and 3 casualties. So still no permanent damage for Ant because he's lucky that way.
Yeah.
Just can't hurt his players. But it was a good game. I won 2-0. Underworld versus Lizards, tier 1 team versus tier 2 team. It's what should have happened, but still felt good. Beating Ant always feels good. That's a compliment because he's real good.
Yeah.
Even when he's playing Underworld. So I then played David at our house, actually. That was kind of nice.
I'm sure that was convenient.
Yeah, that was very convenient.
Right.
Except for in the basement, it was really cold. So he's,
I'm sure he was trying to
dear.
freeze you.
yeah, he was throwing me off.
There's nowhere else in that entire house you could have played. None of the other tables on any of the other levels.
He picked to throw me off my game.
Oh,
I'm convinced.
you let him pick.
Yeah. Wait, I'm still channeling him. Oh, yep, that's what he said. Yep. Throw me off game. So we played. He's playing Dark Elves. A change of pace for him. He usually plays bashy teams. So he's trying an edge team, but still the bashiest of all the edge teams.
The hardiest.
Yeah, I mean they're armor 8.
I enjoyed them when I played them.
Yeah. They're a good team. I played them last season, and actually I didn't do so well with them. I was 4-4. But game got off to a pretty good start. I was able to stall as much as possible. And we went into the half 1-1, and he received the kickoff because he scored real fast. And so it was 1-1 at the half, and it was I was receiving, which is a great place to be in. So it was all set up for the 2-1. I got a lot of removals or a lot of KOs on him. I also got 3 casualties in the game. So it was going very well until I decided very greedily to hand off to a Saurus. And
Don't do that.
You can.
I mean, with a reroll, it's 55%. I had a reroll to spare.
Yeah.
So obviously didn't get it. It bounced to another Saurus
Obviously.
who did not catch it, to either a Skink or a Saurus who did not catch it, and then right to David, basically. It was still in a few tackle zones. He still had to roll some dice, and he still had to do some good maneuvers to get the ball. But he got the ball and managed to score, partially because of my greed. However, I had my second 1 turn of the season
Wow.
to tie.
Second 1 turn ever as well?
No, I've done a 1 turn with Woodies before in a tournament.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's easier with Wood Elves.
With all the pushing and such?
Yeah, and they also have sprint on their catchers by default. So
That's why Wood Elves suck.
I think I'm going to play them next season. So get ready.
Get ready to get smashed.
I'm sure I will. But I got the 1 turn to tie, and so the Gatorade are still undefeated. I'm now 4-1-0 because everyone knows you put the ties in the middle. And I have 2 games to play. So no one else is undefeated in our bracket. And the 2 games I have left are against Phil, which season 1 Nurgle team, even though he's a good coach, should be a victory. And then my last game is against one of the nicest guys in the league who has not scored a touchdown this season yet.
Ouch. The magic missiles.
Yeah. He's 0 goals for and 12 goals against.
I overlook a fucking season 4 orc team and how much block he has. That's all I can say.
I mean, I have 5 Blacksaurus. I'm not super concerned.
And the guard, I should say. A lot of guard.
I have a guard. I'll now have a guard, stand firm, Crocs, unfortunately, because I rolled yet another single.
Hey, at least have a skill on your Crocs.
Well, roll better.
There are not the right
roll
words.
those MVPs better.
Yeah. There are not the right words in the English language to describe how much I would rapidly quit any league where I went. How many games? Five games without a single touchdown.
No touchdowns.
I mean, it's an orc team. You're winning 1-0, 2-0, 2-1.
I mean, if I was to play Blood Bowl, I would have never played an orc team. Like, I know enough about Blood Bowl to know that orc team is not the way I would want to play.
I mean, orc is a good league team for sure.
Oh yeah,
they're not. They're not bad. I mean, you got to the finals, right? So did I with orcs.
Yeah,
so
multiple times.
2 of the last 4 or 3 of the last 4 maybe.
How many tier 1 teams are there?
It kind of depends on whether you're talking about league or
league. So what are the tier 1 teams for a now 5th season league?
I mean, people can retire and get a new team anytime.
Right. But so in a league like this,
it's probably about 8 teams are considered tier 1, maybe 10.
What team?
I can't name them all.
So
wood elves, dark elves, lizards.
I've got the list right here.
Sure.
Chaos dwarf, wood elves, Skaven, Norse, lizardmen, orc, undead, Amazon, dark elves.
Some of those are better than others, but yeah, sure.
Yes, they are certainly not ranked in order of.
Because Ant's super well ranked in, or at least was. I haven't talked to him about Blood Bowl in a while, but he was.
I think he's
really
number 2 in the country.
Well ranked nationally as a Norse team.
Yep.
Yes, they're a good tournament team.
For tournaments, yeah. So I mean, it kind of depends on the length of the season. Longer seasons tend to favor the higher armor value teams because you're not just going to get wrecked.
Not losing your guys, yeah.
Right, exactly. So it depends.
And some teams can get more bloated with their team value and...
Yeah. But so, Jeff, I don't know what you're thinking with your lizards, but I had always been thinking of this being a multi-season team for me, but all these regular skills I keep rolling, it's just like sucking the life out of me to keep this goddamn team.
Yeah, just no doubles, no skill ups.
Seriously. I mean, I've rolled a plus edge skink, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But now he's got his 3rd normal skill. Or 2nd normal skill to go with the plus edge, which I guess I'll take sure feet. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, do you want him to be like a fucking sprint to the end zone type guy?
Well, I mean, I feel like he has to be. I mean, that's my one turner.
Yeah.
Even though he's not great at it.
Sprint sure feet.
Well, I'll do sure feet now because yeah. I'll do sure feet on him, so because I can get 3 pushes. Off the line.
Hold on.
No, we're gonna keep going.
God damn it! I thought we were done.
I should say how they actually say tiers is tier 1 is a 55 to 45% win rate, and then there's some tier 1.5s that is like Underworld, Frogs, and Chaos Pact that have like a 50 to 40, and then like some real lower shit. Like, let's see, Halfling, Goblin, and Ogre are supposedly a 35 to 30% win rate team.
Yeah, so there's a table out there for tournaments, for NAF tournaments, that I think Ant he either posted or he's going to post on the Facebook group that breaks it down race by race. And let me see this real quick. Ogres are 12% wins against Wood Elves. 12%.
Ouch.
Yep.
Not great.
Amazons against Dwarves are like 25% or something.
Amazons have all dodge. All dwarves come with tackle that negate dodge. So
they're just really shitty humans.
Yeah, they're just really shitty humans at that point.
Yeah.
It depends if you're marked by a runner that doesn't have tackle. That's kind of what it is.
Sure.
Yeah.
But like what, 9 out of 11 players in the field are gonna have tackle?
Correct.
So you're just fucked.
Yep.
Like you might as well not even play the game.
I mean, that's my general attitude towards Blood Bowl.
Whoa,
you're
too
fucked,
far.
and you might as well not play the game.
Well,
sometimes.
I mean, you've seen
there's
how I
still-
roll dice, Paul. You've
There's an
seen how I
undefeated
roll.
team. There's an undefeated team somewhere in this room.
Yeah, because you don't have my luck with dice.
Please
You've seen me roll dice, Paul.
buy a dice cup. Use that.
I've tried dice. I have a very nice leather dice cup.
I'll take it off your hands.
No. For so many reasons, no. One, I actually really like it. And two, if I gave that away, Megan would murder me the second she found out.
All right, fine.
And we've got a tournament coming up next Saturday after next, November 17th.
Oh, yeah, the
Stuffing Bowl.
Stuffing Bowl. I knew there was a clever name for it that was Thanksgiving related.
Yep.
Right on.
So if you want to play, contact Jeff.
Or Ant.
No, Jeff.
Just me. And you'll be in Denver.
Right on. That concludes the Bloody Minute. I believe at this point there's going to be a brief pause because Paul is taking off.
Yep, I'm out.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for having me. Appreciate
Thanks for joining us, Paul. It was nice having you.
Yep.
We will continue the episode
it momentarily.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right. Well, now, as we've been recording this episode, I've been kind of hanging out on Slack, as I do, and Ofer was wondering how he could vote for Boycott Paul. And I told him how, and he must have done it. I mean, I hope not, because the way I told him to do it is not,
Right.
not how I want somebody to vote. But Paul's gone now, so the Boycott Paul worked.
Good
Yep.
job.
So here we are,
Paul is gone.
deep into this episode, and Paul is gone.
Yep.
And now we can continue with some news and Kickstarters. So,
Yes.
Ofer will give you all the congratulations for getting Paul off the episode as soon as possible. And yeah, Jeff, take us away. News and Kickstarter.
In news, there's been lots of news over the last 2 weeks.
Yep, because we were busy doing other shit.
Yeah. Like playing Jenga.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever exchange that Jenga
Nope.
set?
Oh,
It's
100%.
still-
Nope.
In fact, when Zach got here to record
It was-
20 minutes before the rest of you, it was still just jumbled on the table where we left it when we finished
like, that
recording
sounds
last
about right.
week.
Where Quinn took a knife to the back.
Yep.
First up in news, there's some of these really cool websites. If you ever want to sleeve your game,
Mm-hmm.
they'll get you everything you need
Yeah.
for money.
It's well, basically they'll tell you how much shit you need to buy.
Yes.
Yeah, they will tell you what to go spend your money on.
Which is so useful.
It is, especially with some of these ones that have multiple sleeves, and it's just like, oh, okay, well, or multiple size cards, and it's really annoying when you like say you're 20 off, and you're like, God damn it.
So there's two of them. There's sleeved.io and sleeveyourgames.com. We will include both of them in the show notes, so you can go check them out. That way you don't have to remember what we actually said. You can just go to the website and check out the show notes. But I've been playing around with them, and I got to be honest, I really think the sleeveyourgames.com is significantly better.
Yeah, well, the sleeve.io, I think they only have, at least when I've looked at it, it was only Mayday sleeves too.
Yes.
So,
Where sleeveyourgames.com has Fantasy Flight, Mayday, Premium, Mayday Standard. I didn't realize there was two. And Ultra Pro.
nice.
The only thing I could see that sleeved might do better is it looks like there is a way. I haven't played around with it enough from when I first saw it, but just trying to search different games to see what sleeves they recommend, it builds a list off on the side of your screen that will just tell you. So it'll tell you the totals. Like I searched for Terraforming Mars,
like
and Zombicide.
multiple games,
Yeah.
and combine the entire thing into a total. Yeah.
So I had searched initially for Terraforming Mars on both sites and Zombicide on both sites. And so sleeved.io just has a banner over here that has a game list with Terraforming Mars, 233 cards, Zombicide, 110, total sleeves, 233, 110, and then it breaks them down that they're in. One of them is the 63.5 by 88, and one's 44 by 63. Whereas the Sleeve Your Games, it will just give you a shit ton of different options based on the different types of sleeves. So, like, it'll tell you what specific Fantasy Flight sleeves to buy, or Mayday, or Paladin, or Ultra Pro. But it only does one game at a time.
But FYI, if you want to sleeve the entirety of Gloomhaven in Fantasy Flight, you need 20 red packs and 15 gray packs.
No.
A lot of cards.
For 975 mini European and 727 standard.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
So
They don't really quite give a price of what that is, but
they just tell you what you need to order. They don't even
do.
have links.
oh no, they have buy on Amazon links right underneath
Wait, which one?
for sleeveyourgame.com.
It did not for me with
On
Zombicide.
mobile, it throws it right underneath there, like boom, buy on Amazon
Huh. Yeah, that is definitely not visible on the
desktop.
desktop.
Huh.
Interesting.
Definitely mobile though.
Cool.
Works well on mobile.
Sounds like it's better on mobile.
Yeah,
Cool. Yeah. So if you're looking to buy cards, there's now a new way to do
which is
that.
Sleeves for your cards.
super
Sleeves for your
useful
cards, yes.
because I bought a ton of the wrong
Mhm.
sleeves for the Gloomhaven. I needed the red ones, and I bought the yellow ones,
Yeah.
thinking but it's off. It's
You
like
silly bitch.
I needed the mini European, not the mini American.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Yeah.
But it's a super cool thing. Next up, Cmon is getting the Night of the Living Dead license, which is weird because I thought that thing was in like public domain like forever ago.
And I did too. I thought that was one of the few that had somehow fallen through the cracks of bullshit U.S. public domain.
Because George Romero forgot to renew
Yeah.
the license, and then it went public domain, and there was nothing he could do about it.
Yeah, because that's why there's like so many stupid return of or night of
Anyone can do.
bullshit variations. Yeah,
It's why Cthulhu is everywhere. It's why zombies are everywhere.
Yeah.
Because zombies didn't get trademarked, basically.
Yep. That being said, I'm actually kind of interested in this for the first time in a long time. It's they're tagging it as a zombicide game, so they're using vaguely the zombicide genre, but or like mechanics, but they're throwing it in a Night of the Living Dead scenario. And considering how much
So I'm not going to be cutting them in half with lightsabers.
Possibly not. Possibly. I don't. It depends on how much of a zombicide game it is versus how much of a Night of the Living Dead it is.
Let's say I put some blades on some 6-shooters, and then I've got roller skates.
We'll see. We'll see what you can do. But I'm interested. I want to hear more. I want to see what they actually do with it. If they can really do a good job of bringing that IP into a solid set of mechanical rules, this would get me back interested in the Cmon game for the first time in a long time. Because I do have a very soft spot for Night of the Living Dead.
Understandable.
I mean, it awakened my love of zombies decades ago.
Next up, we have a bunch of looks towards the next
future.
year,
Mhm.
starting with Lookout Games.
Yep.
So basically, Spiel just wrapped up. And so there's been a lot of companies updating some of their plans for the coming year.
Yes. And Essen is usually where that happens because it's the biggest.
Yes.
Yeah.
So a few things coming from Lookout Games. Mandala, an expansion for Baron Park that adds Grizzlies. 3 separate modules.
Mhm.
I know you were kind of interested in this.
Yeah. Well,
interested in this,
it's
Zach.
just, I mean, one module is just more in-game conditions. The other one's Grizzlies, which is another Baron. So it's just going to be, you'll get another section of your park to build because they take up more space. And then also monorails. Ooh. Yeah.
Let you travel throughout the park.
Exactly.
I haven't played Baron Park, but I've always heard
I like
good-
that. Yeah.
great things.
The other kind of interesting thing from Lookout to touch on here real quick before we move to the next round of 2019 stuff is a patchwork game that's a roll and write.
Patchwork Doodle.
Yeah.
It's a good name.
It supports up to 8 players,
Not infinite.
not infinite.
Well,
Okay.
Although it does say in the little blurb here on BGG, I think that's because the box will only have 8 starting cards and pencils. If you got enough copies of it, or if you copied, scanned,
We gotta-
printed.
We got to mark this game down. It doesn't come with infinite pencils for infinite players.
Yeah. There's not 100 sheets in this one.
Yeah.
But it does at least have the 8 pencils.
Yeah.
So where's
Yeah.
the line, Zach? Where's
I
the
don't know.
line?
How many's Welcome to come with?
None.
Ooh. Oh.
None pencils.
There's the line.
Ooh.
Well, you wouldn't be able to draw the line because it didn't have any pencils.
As Adrian almost spits beer all over the laptop.
Oh, not almost.
Yeah.
Well, no, on the laptop. I spoke too soon. Yes, on the laptop, none. On myself, a small amount. So a fair amount of new things coming from Lookout there.
Yeah.
Continuing on the 2019 train.
Wizkids up next. Probably all them hot GW assets now.
Certainly at least one, starting with Warhammer Age of Sigmar, The Rise and Fall of Anvalor. which is quite a mouthful.
I mean, it's Jeff's favorite property.
Yeah, what was the start of that one again?
Warhammer Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
Okay, you had me at Warhammer. You lost me at anything after that. That isn't the words 40,000.
Gotcha.
Okay. They also have a new module thing for Expanse.
The Expanse board game, yeah.
Yep. And it's Doors and Corners. It's a collection of 5 different modules: leaders, new tech, resource tokens,
I've always heard
molecules, and variable setup.
I've always heard the Expanse board game's pretty good.
I've heard good things.
I've heard too, yeah.
It's not been out for long, though, right?
I mean, long enough that
I want to say it was like
sometime
right before Gen Con or something like that, but
last year or so.
Yeah.
Amidst other things here with the Wizkids, there is a new Waterdeep system. And I think we actually talked about this as well back in May. But there was a post in May on BGG where they pointed out that Wizkids was looking for some kind of generic Dungeons & Dragons 2018 adventure system. It's now been revealed that it's going to be Waterdeep Dungeon of the Mad Mage, a 1 to 5 player game that will be coming out in March in 2 versions, a standard edition with single color miniatures for 80 and a premium edition with painted miniatures for 160. And you're going to basically be going down into a dungeon beneath Waterdeep because, of course, you are. It's D&D, and Waterdeep is a huge part of D&D lore.
You can't go 10 feet without getting riddled with dungeons.
Well, especially without running into a Waterdeep dungeon, apparently, especially in the board gaming side of D&D.
There's adventure everywhere you look.
Yeah, but it's a cooperative game. For one part of this says 1 to 5, another part says 2 to 5, so something in that realm.
Yeah,
of 1 to 2 to 5.
1 or
at
2
least
to
2
5.
to 5.
Yeah. And then there's a few other things. Zach, you will appreciate the pun, I think.
Oh, 100%. If you weren't going to mention this, I was going to.
Star Trek Conflict in the neutral zone.
Yep. Ooh.
It's you're flicking stuff, and it's Star Trek. Well, I don't care about the Star Trek as much, but
you're flicking stuff.
The flicking stuff, yeah. And especially that they used the conflict
instead of flicked. Yeah.
So that's all the stuff from WizKids. Portal is coming out with a few new things. Ignacy held a seminar at Essen where he announced a bunch of shit. But the first of the expansions that was announced was Stronghold Undead. So if you liked Stronghold, but you wanted to add zombies, there's now Stronghold Undead.
And don't worry, it's like a partnership with Stronghold Games, because there was like Bonacor was like, there's no way I can't get a hold of the game called Stronghold.
Yeah. So way back when Bonacor founded Stronghold, he worked really hard to get Stronghold from Portal, and he ended up doing it.
Okay.
Well, now they've partnered up for Ignacy to bring Stronghold Undead.
Fun fact, Axis and Allies Zombies just came out this week.
Also, yes. Yeah. Zombies, so hot right now.
So hot.
Detective, a modern crime game. They're one of their newest
continues
games.
to crush it, apparently.
Yeah. It's getting some more expansions. LA Crimes.
But in the 80s instead of modern times.
Yep. 3 new cases, 5 new characters.
So I'm just going to assume you're going to have to like look through actual books and shit for that.
Probably. Robinson Crusoe is getting Mystery Tales, which was first announced at Spiel last year as Robinson Crusoe Lost City of Z.
Yes.
But is now moved up to where it's now Mystery Tales.
Lost City of Z is the campaign one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It'd be
a new campaign one, because the Beagle one was
Voyage
also
of the Beagle, which I have and I still have never played. So
Megan has been wanting to play Robinson Crusoe for a while. We just need to make it actually happen.
Like many games we want to play, we just need to make it happen.
Yeah. Also tentatively interested in Stronghold Undead. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
There's also going to be a small set of cards for 51st State. That concludes the Rapid Fire 2019 preview.
We can't just continue it being rapid fire.
I mean, we are.
No, we can continue things being rapid fire. However, that was the 2019 preview rapid fire. Now we rapid fire through the last few news things, including Jeff. I think you're going to be the only one interested in this next piece of news.
Me and all of our listeners, because they have announced the dumbest name ever. Warhammer Quest: Blackstone Fortress.
But it's in 40K,
It's in 40K. Warhammer 40K Quest?
Yeah.
Blackstone Fortress. There was a leak of this a week or so ago, and GW's media team had crushed it. They made a Twitter post that said, "The potato camera strikes again."
Mhm.
They made a camera look like a potato, printing out the blurry picture that leaked from this a couple weeks ago. It was also quite funny. I've always really liked Warhammer Quest as a concept. I've pre-ordered the Heroes of Terranoth card game that's going to be coming
I like
out.
That one.
This is, of course, going to have tons of minis.
Yes, it was.
And they look absolutely amazing.
They do.
There is stuff in this game that I've not seen GW ever release before. There are like Chaos Imperial Guard that look awesome. Like
Nice.
super great like cultist minis you could use for this. It comes out the 23rd. There's no price. It's probably going to be like $150 or
At
more
least.
because there's a ton of minis in here.
Yeah, I am disappointed it wasn't like Warhammer 40 Quest but with a KW.
They could have gotten a lot. They could have gotten a lot more punny in there.
Yeah.
It's basically you're a bunch of heroes, explorers. There's like 8 in total. They all look awesome. There's a bunch of Eldar and like rogue trader looking dudes. Kroot mercenaries, which I haven't seen for Tau in a while, all fighting against Chaos because of course they are. But there's also like Beastmen in 40K, which is fucking nuts. Like the goat people. That's usually like a fantasy thing. They don't
Gotcha.
throw that into 40K. Trader guardsmen, mechanized cultists, like weird drones and shit. It's kind of got a Space Hulk sort of theme / setup into it where it's modular. It's going to be a whole new series with a fuckload of expansions and money and holy shit. Ant, if you're listening, we should get this.
Well, he's not getting Project Elite, so maybe.
Yeah. Let's dump this. Let's dump our money in this. Let's go, man.
Bonkers.
Yeah, this actually looks really cool. They've released a couple of those like standalone kind of mini type games that they're really just trying to lure everyone into getting all of the other really expensive shit. But this one actually looks cool.
Yeah. Push fit minis.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing with these box sets for quite a while. Just really ezy to assemble stuff.
No glue required.
No, they've done that with their starter sets since when I worked there 15 years ago. But they look way better now.
They
like,
still keep hyping it up, though, like it's something new.
Yeah.
Last up on news.
If you want more Root, you sure can get it because they're releasing a Root RPG. If you need to let loose your inner furry.
I mean, there's more to it than that.
Of course there is. But
If you want to go to war with other ones.
if I want to role play myself as, I don't know, a small woodland creature.
Yeah.
This is the
And then
place.
go murder other woodland creatures.
Yeah.
And also watch as other ones put them into slavery or like just kidnap them or use them as money or turn them into cultists and then sacrifices and rebellions and
just straight fucking.
yeah, you know
what? I've lost the thread of this conversation.
You're RPGing as furry creatures.
Yeah.
Furries, just banging, all top to bottom.
Jesus. Anyway. So this Root RPG will be coming from Magpie Games. They've signed a multi-year agreement with Leader to develop this RPG. And the idea behind it is that you are going to be taking on the role of vagabonds. All of the RPG characters will all be vagabonds. So you're not going to be like role-playing as the Marquis
Okay.
or the Irie
Cats.
or any of that.
Eerie.
Irie, whatever.
I mean, one's right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care.
As is your pronunciation tradition.
100%. And so they've all come to the woodlands seeking riches and adventure, and all of the factions of the forest see you as allies against their various enemies or as threats to destroy. And so you're going to be trying to navigate those different political alliances and do your thing in the whole Root world.
Could be interesting.
Yeah.
Depends on the mechanics behind it. Much like how Lamentations, the Flame Princess, is an interesting setting.
Mhm.
Has some cool stuff around it. We had to do some pretty heavy modifications to the system to make it enjoyable.
Yeah.
Which we'll see. All new RPG systems seem to always kind of have their like, we're doing this because it's different. There's a reason D&D is popular.
Yeah. and shit, even D&D has changed things up. Like minor changes from edition to edition causes huge flame wars on the internet for decades to come. But yeah, there will be more information to come for this in mid-2019 when the Kickstarter goes up for Magpie Games. So,
Ooh, Kickstarter.
yeah.
Okay.
And should retail early 2020. So it's a ways away.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Plenty of time to lock that shit down.
Yeah. That is all of the news.
Speaking of Kickstarters, we're moving on to Kickstarters.
Indeed.
First up in Kickstarters is Monumental. Very well funded, $337,000 of its $57,000 goal, 2,900 backers, about 2 weeks left to go. Its most popular pledge being $102.
And that's because it has minis.
Yes, this is indeed a minis game.
Well,
the deluxe edition is the
Yes.
edition with the minis.
yeah, the classic edition doesn't have minis, but people are going to buy minis. So.
They're going to spend the extra $28 to get all the fancy
Yeah.
minis. So Monumental is a
Deck building. And
deck
4X
building
game, yeah.
4X game. So you use deck building to build up your civilization.
With a cool concept of like you have a 3x3 card grid in front of you.
That represents your capital city.
Yeah, and on your turn, you're going to activate a column and a row, and those are the cards that you are going to be using that turn.
Yeah. So you'll only use those 5. And then at the end of the turn, they all get discarded. And then you fill in the gaps with the rest of your city deck. There's a lot of ways to add cards to your city deck.
And some of the things you're going to be adding are actual monuments to the game, and they tend to be pretty powerful, and you have to spend basically it's like one of those things where you have to buy it twice. You have to buy it in order to like get the plans or whatever and begin construction, and it costs like 4 construction tokens or whatever they're called in the game. And then you'd spend another 4, and then that actually lets you build it.
I believe they're called construction markers.
Okay, there we go. And one interesting thing too is that any card that you purchase goes onto the top of your deck.
Okay.
So you will then immediately get it on your next turn.
Oh.
But you're putting them in a specific, like you can put them in a specific order, and you know where your next card is going, so you can plan. It's like that. Was it Aeon's End that like you don't shuffle the cards?
Yeah, you just sort of like flip it back over.
Yeah.
So it's like that in regard of like at least for putting it on top, you know the order in which you're putting it on top, and so you can try and get certain things to line up together.
I do have to say this is definitely the most game where you can get a mini of Albert Einstein and also a Minotaur and play them in the same game.
You're not wrong, no.
Or William Shakespeare.
Yes. Well, yeah,
and a griffin.
Yeah. The monuments do go through time as well.
Yes.
So
yeah, it is from like ancient to modern in scale, but it's weird that Albert Einstein and a Minotaur are in the same game.
you're not wrong. But I watched a playthrough of it and it seems pretty interesting.
Yeah,
it has
cool.
a pretty big area control component.
As is all 4X games.
Yeah.
I will also chime in here on the minis look really cool.
Yeah.
They look real good.
The base edition is $74 and the deluxe with all the minis and stuff is $103. There's over 2,400 backers for the $103 pledge. There's 163 for the classic edition.
Yeah. They can't. So this was originally it was in March, I want to say. They had they first kickstarted it, but then they canceled it, and it looks like they vastly improved the amount. I don't know, the amount of stuff that's in there, and just everything, because that one was halfway through its goal when it got canceled. This one is
crushing it.
So
that's Monumental.
Indeed. Next up on Kickstarter.
Next up, Welcome to plus theme packs / neighborhood packs / I don't know, some extra stuff.
Yeah.
Very well funded. $106,000 of its $10,000 goal, 2,200 backers, and a little bit less than a week to go, with its most popular pledge being $29.
Indeed. So there's a bunch of different pledge levels for this, and they basically break down to where the base pledge at $25 is just the game and then some expansions. The $29 most popular pledge level is thematic score pad refills, city plans, and stretch goals, and then a bunch of different versions of it that include things like play mats and things like that. So this Kickstarter seems to be fulfilling 2 things. Like, one, there's a chance to get the base game of Welcome to, which if you listen to this show, I've been raving about since Origins. It's on my short list of top games of the year. I really, really like Welcome to. I think it's a great game. But they are also adding in these variable theme packs, of which I think they currently have 3 or 4 released. They have like a
Yeah.
haunted Halloween one that includes new
mechanics.
So they all kind of vaguely change how the game works. Like
There's like pumpkins on there that are another thing now.
yeah, and there's like candy corn and ghost icons, and there's some new cards that kind of change. And you can even see where like it adds in like the pumpkin and candy corn scores as like a new
Tier thing on the bottom, yeah.
that just squeezes them in.
New objectives.
So it adds some new cards, some new objectives that all kind of make those mechanics work.
There's a new zombie one.
Yeah, that's the next score pad, and the only reason I really want to back this for a higher level is I want the zombie cards.
Shocking.
You're building barricades
Yeah.
and collecting ammo to fend off zombies.
Yeah, so they don't have a ton of information here. I mean, there's rules, a link to the rules, which I haven't had a chance to actually really read over. But essentially, like the zombies are moving in against your town, and so you got to build barricades and collect ammo to keep the zombies from overrunning your town, which to me just sounds awesome. And then at the end of the game, you still score all of the normal things because in a zombie apocalypse, you're
Parks.
really concerned about your shrubbery and your pools.
Yeah. Making sure you don't use too many biz.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you used a roundabout. That's minus 3 points.
Oh, zombies loves roundabouts.
They go round and round and round.
Murdering the whole way. These all come with cool, like new objective cards specifically for those maps, which are nice.
Yeah. And then there is still another so they've really revealed the Halloween and the zombie. There are still on the Kickstarter spots for 2 more sets of maps, boards, whatever, that are going to be coming out that you can play with to really just kind of expand this game. Also, personally warms my heart to see, although I'm going to have to message Deepwater because I'm a little heartbroken here. They have a clip where in this video, Heavy Cardboard plays the game live online. And the like little blurb for it even shows Heavy Cardboard versus Mile High Game Guys versus Peanut Gallery. I pushed Edward to do this because we're not up and running on live stream yet. I was like, dude, this would be a great one because everybody who's watching can just jump on BGG, pull the score sheet, and play along with us. And he's like, oh, it's a good idea. We should do that. And we did it. And Megan and I crushed. and so Mile High Game Guys super won. But then they say in this video, Heavy Cardboard plays the game. It should say in this video, Mile High Game Guys crush Heavy Cardboard.
Who?
Yeah.
Who
I
crushes
mean, you might as well just send them a message about it.
Well, and I worked their booth at Origins. It's not like they don't know who we are. Come on, man.
Well, they don't know who we are.
That's true.
I mean, but the collective we.
Yes.
So, but no, we Welcome To is a great game. I really do enjoy it.
They have a dry erase player sheet add-on, which I don't think they had available
They did not,
before. And then they're upgrading through stretch goals, like additional player aids. And then their next one is from laminate to dry erase coated score sheets that fit in the box specifically.
Yes.
That's a very important stretch. Seems
Yeah.
like everyone that's buying this game now is going to get a way better version than everyone that got the original.
I mean, it depends. If they don't really change the box size, I don't know how they're going to change how they're going to actually laminate it and still have it fit better in the box than mine do. Like mine don't fit great, but they fit.
Yeah. A lot of these are add-ons too, so it's not specifically just coming straight out of the box for that $25. It's like $10 for additional stuff. There's been some complaints about that it's a little pricey. I've seen online where seems like you're paying a lot for what you're getting in a roll and write.
Yeah, the prices get a bit high for especially the higher tiers.
It's like $69 for everything, the playmat, the score pad refills, etc.
But you're getting multiple score pads versus I felt like it was a great deal at
You're getting 3 different games with each. You're getting a different game with each one of those score pads.
Right.
I mean, I didn't pay. I volunteered at Origin and got a copy they were selling for $25 each of the base game with the base score pad, the base cards. And so a game that has 3 times as many, has 4 bonus score cards.
And if you already own the game, you really only have to pay $29 for all the extra stuff that's coming in this Kickstarter.
So, yeah, on one hand, it seems pricey, but on the other hand, you're getting so much more that that's one of my trickiest things with this game is how much it does ramp. Like, I love Welcome to. I'm really excited about new maps, new cards, things but the prices do get into this realm where it's like, I'm not sure I can really justify it. I don't know.
It's basically $50 without the playmat.
Yeah.
Playmat's always popular on these Kickstarters lately.
Which we played on the heavy cardboard thing. We played with the playmat. I'm sorry. I'm going to just go ahead and say it. You don't need the goddamn playmat for this game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games where I do think, I think the playmat, still with Deepwater, the herbalism. The playmat helps immensely with herbalism. I do not think you need the playmat for Welcome to. Do I want the playmat for Welcome to? 100% yes. Do I think you need it? Not at all. Yeah, it's tough.
It's a tough life we live in this board game media industry.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. That brings us to our final Kickstarter of this episode.
And this final Kickstarter in this episode is Reavers of Midgard.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. Extremely well funded. 224,000 of its $15,000 goal, 2,800 backers, and just under 2 weeks left to go. This one you can pledge for $69.
Indeed.
It has a nice one pledge level. Well, there's one version. That's nothing crazy.
Yeah. So, Reavers of Midgard, the sequel to Champions of Midgard.
Spiritual sequel.
Direct sequel. It's a sequel.
Well, it is a sequel, but not like, here's the same game, part 2.
No,
This is a completely different game.
But thematically, it follows directly from the storylines, big air quotes, of Champions of Midgard. So it is a worker placement, dice placement game set in the Champions of Midgard universe.
Huh?
And essentially, the way that it works is, so in Champions, you were trying to become like the Jarl of your little clan. You were trying to be in charge of your clan.
We were all competing against each other to fight big monsters and
to see who of us would become the Jarl of our clan.
Throw our berserkers in there while we were stood at the back and just collected all of the loot after they fought.
Yeah. So after that, ostensibly somebody in Champions won and became the Jarl of their clan. In Reavers, you are now completing to become you're like the chief of our clan. Now that you're competing to become like the Jarl of all the chiefs and all the kingdoms of the Viking mythos here. If you think of Champions of Midgard as being more of a defensive game where you're like warding off these monsters that are attacking your village, and that's how you're earning your prestige. You're defending your village, you're fighting everybody off. Reavers is a much more offensive game. You're going out and seeking out battles and seeking out glory and fame. It is a worker placement game, but it's a single worker placement game.
Worker placement, one worker.
And this has apparently thrown people off because they tend to relate it instead over to Raiders of the North Sea.
Yeah.
But it's not like that. Because it's not a Pullment game, it's a placement game still.
Yes.
So there are multiple places where you can place your worker, and essentially every time anybody places their worker, they get to do like the best version of that action, but then everybody else gets to sort of follow. And I say sort of because like if you're going to the section of the board, the recruit section where you get to draft Reavers into your crew, there might only be 3 Reavers. So in a 4-player game, if I'm the person who goes there, I get first choice of the 3, and then it goes to my left where Jeff gets his choice of the remaining 2, and then Zach gets his choice of the remaining 1, which isn't really a choice at all. But whoever's the 4th player just doesn't get shit. So the following, like where you are in turn order, can really matter for those follow actions. Reavers that you're drafting there are the core of the game. They can do a bunch of different things. They're like a multi-use card. You can add them to your crew, where they will add 1, 2, 3 like strength to your crew. You can use them to rally, where you discard them in exchange for more dice. You can use them to lead battles and things, where they will provide a one-time bonus. Or you can use them to specialize, where you use them to basically improve the 4 main actions of the game. For example, it can be something like every time you partake in a sea battle, you get +1 food, things like that. You can also, the other main actions besides recruit, you can raid villages where you get artifacts and bonuses. You can raid keeps, which is like a little set collection game where, like, as you raid the keeps, you're going to get different types of things that will, as you collect sets of them, will score you more points in the end. And then you can do sea battles, which behave a lot like they did in Champions of Midgard, where there's 2 phases. The travel phase where you draw
journey
travel,
and fight a kraken, or
you draw that journey card. Maybe you fight a kraken, maybe you get calm seas, whatever. Then when you get to the end, you do your final battle and you spend all your goods and everything. You can conquer territory. Conquering territory allows you to trade resources and gain extra hexes, as well as has a kind of minor set collection, like not as much as that raiding keeps does, but it's got a little bit of set collection. And then there's places and things.
Champions of Midgard had as well.
Yeah. There's places like take over first player and all that, all those normal worker placement type things. Play the game over 6 rounds, and then at the end of the 6th round, whoever has the most points is now the leader of all the Vikings. You're the best.
The Jarl of Jarls.
Jarl of Jarls. So basically, the way I understand this is that you need to play, like, you need to get, like 36 people together. You need to have...
You got me at 36. All right.
You need to have everybody split off and play multiple games of Champions. The winner of every game of Champions are now chiefs of their village. They all get together and play Reavers. And then at the end, you find out who's the best Viking. Okay. You and your 36 friends.
Until 2 years from now, you get to go to whatever the higher than Jarl is.
Yeah.
In which case, you just add even more. And
where did 36 come from, though?
Because I forgot that I was thinking 1 to 6 players. They're 1 to 4.
4 players.
So it's not nearly as bad as I thought.
Now I'm out. It's not 36 players.
It's like 16 players.
Mm-hmm.
So you play 4 games of Champions.
What
the winners of all 4 games of Champions then play 1 game of Reavers.
What I thought you were talking about 9 games of Champions, and then 2 games of Reavers, and then also 1 other guy.
I mean, also yes.
I do like their little long ship player boards. That's actually what you put your cards on and put your little resources and stuff in. They're a lot bigger than I thought they were going to be. I thought they were just kind of like little card size things, but they're actually like player boards.
Yes.
Where you get to put all your stuff. They look pretty cool.
Yeah.
Everything in this looks pretty cool.
Yeah. You can also, like, there's some add-ons here. You can get Champions of Midgard.
Yeah.
And the Jarl edition of it too.
Which was the Kickstarter like exclusive. Well, I guess it wasn't really. They didn't really have exclusive stuff for Midgard.
And the box that sort of held everything was that. But then also you can get a neoprene mat of Champions, but also neoprene mat of this. Which after I got the neoprene mat of Champions, I was like, well, I should have got this from the beginning.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely be looking into this mat as well.
Yeah. It's got dice in there. I think you mentioned that over your preview. That's kind of how
still a dice placement game, and they still have the custom dice.
Yeah, the Raven, Yggdrasil, and Berserkers.
Which as of right now are going to be...
They've unlocked the larger 16
larger
millimeter
ones. They're close to the laser etched ones, which will be nice.
I am very excited for the $300,000 stretch goal.
Yep.
Game trays.
Yay.
That guy's fucking rolling in money at this point.
Yes. Also, we found out that Lance knows the game trays guy.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Huh.
We were talking. You were literally.
I was there. Yeah. No, I was there.
I was like, what the fuck, Jeff?
I was just remembering that I was there and that we had talked about that. And then we talked about how I got like the first Game Trace thing, which was the Terraforming Mars ones, and then I had to wait 2 months for stickers before it shipped.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. More Midgard. Can't be bad. It's definitely one of our favorite games.
Yeah.
I was looking at the BGG lists earlier. Champions of Midgard and Raiders of the North Sea are literally right next to each other in the BGG rankings for overall.
And
Champions Midgard on top.
Yeah,
I should say
for right now,
right there.
And it's estimated delivery June.
Yeah,
so
right around the corner.
8 months. It's not bad.
That is not bad at all, especially considering like the ridiculous level of components they're putting into this game. to have that kind of turnaround is really impressive.
Yeah. There will be a preview up from a live stream with the designer by the time you hear this. That will be on the campaign page.
Indeed.
There is a rule book, so you can actually go through. I flipped through it. It looks like not the rules to Massive Darkness, so that's really a plus.
That's always a plus.
Yeah, no, they're legit rules.
Yeah.
They've really got things going on here.
That's really my test now. Does it look like Massive Darkness? No? All right. Thumbs up.
And I'm looking forward to the people that have no idea what you're talking about. And they're like, well, no shit, it doesn't look like that.
There was this game Oasis.
Yeah.
They copied and pasted.
The whole thing, just go
the whole
listen to
thing.
all of our episodes. You'll find it somewhere in
Everything.
there.
Yeah.
Someone did.
Yeah.
So I do want to wrap up here at the end of this Reavers of Midgard blurb. I do just want to remind everybody, just for
Yes.
complete transparency, we are sponsored by Gray Fox
Yeah.
Games, who is producing this game,
Yeah.
who is designing this game, who is behind this game. Honestly, that doesn't change the fact that I think we're all fairly excited for this game.
That is true.
Zach and I will like it. Adrian will probably not.
Yeah.
Well, no, so actually, so I didn't dislike Champions.
Well,
I didn't love it. I had major complaints about Champions,
But when you, if with the expansion,
yeah, well, especially with with caveat with the expansion. However, talking to Alex, who is our main contact with Gray Fox, who also does the Dukes of Dice podcast, great podcast. Talking to Alex, he said that this game is much, much more Euro than Champions was.
right?
Which has me very interested because I am a much more of a Euro player.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Champions was like a very blend,
Well,
it was more blended towards.
how you got points was mostly through dice combat.
Yeah.
So
So it was much more on the Ameritrash
Mhm.
side of the Euro Ameritrash mix. This one is still a blend, but he said it is shifted much more towards that Euro side,
A little heavier.
which has me a lot more interested. It is a heavier game.
yeah.
So I think this is going to be one that will appeal to me much, much more than Champions did. So
I look
I'm-
forward to
yeah.
trying this out at, I don't know, wherever Alex lives.
St. Louis.
St.
Well,
Louis.
Alex doesn't live in St. Louis, but Gray
No.
Fox is based in St. Louis.
Yes.
So we'll just go to St. Louis and play
Yeah.
the shit out of this game.
We'll be there in May.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
that's
Heat
1
wave.
month. Yeah.
They'll probably have a production copy by
I'm
then.
sure they will.
There we go.
So we'll have more information on this to come. But it does. I even agree. I'm actually really interested in this game. I'm looking forward to actually getting a chance to play it.
Yep.
Yeah, but no actual previews are up or anything up yet on the site, so you can't really see what it looks like.
Yet.
But that preview will be up by the time you
episode
listen to
airs.
this.
So
Yeah, with the
so we can't see how it looks like.
No.
You will be able to.
yes, and I'm sure there might be some floating around out there preview wise, but
But that wraps up our news and Kickstarter segment for the night, which brings us over to listener feedback, where we're going to start with our all important emails.
emails at milehighgameguys.com.
Indeed, there is an email.
The email. It's an email to end all emails.
It is a most email.
It is even titled "The Most Email."
Yes.
Buckle in, guys.
Saddle up, everyone. This one comes from Michael. It's titled The Most Email. Hello, Mile HG guys. So is anyone keeping track of if we've burned through all 16 of those yet?
We got to be getting close.
Yeah.
Probably. I've been listening to your podcast for a few months now. I started at episode 0, and have enjoyed you guys all the way through. You are the second board game podcast, actually second podcast ever I started listening to.
Whoa.
That's the only way he made it in. He didn't know what quality was yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, wait. It was like that meme with the butterfly. It's like quantity.
Yeah.
Is this quality?
Yeah. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say this as the person here that loves saying quips in between comments at the most. We may want to keep them to a minimum, else we're never gonna get
Yeah,
through
we gotta
this
let
email.
we're gonna really just try and let Jeff
Yeah.
burn through this email.
Yep. I avoided podcasts until this game is broken, and once I caught up with that one, I was looking for another short podcast to listen to. I seen Mile High Game Guys in a list of good board game podcasts, and the first few were around or under an hour. I miss those days, and thought you guys would be perfect.
We split it though, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. We split it. As I listened on, I realized that perhaps I may have been hasty on choosing you time-wise, but do not regret it.
Yeah. You lull them in the first year.
Yeah. That's the 2-year plan, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I originally listened to you while walking. Then I started walking more to listen to more of your episodes. Now I listen to you while walking, while painting miniatures, and sometimes at work during my lunch. When I started listening to you guys, I could always recognize Adrian's voice, but I had a difficult time with Jeff and Zach, which is not the first time anyone has said this, but
No.
I don't understand it because I don't think I sound anything like Zach.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from the fact that like we all three have generic male, somewhat baritone voices.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
I
could
could tell Jeff's.
I get.
start switching it up.
Yeah.
I could tell Jeff's when he spoke. But if neither said anything for a while and Zach talked, I couldn't remember which one he was until Jeff spoke. I know that this is weird.
Really, you should just be like, I don't know which one that is. That must be Zach. That seems to me.
I was planning on writing you all an email when I finished listening, then adding everything then. I assume our entire library.
Mm-hmm.
I later found myself forgetting things I wanted to email you about, so I started to write this email as I was listening when I heard something that I felt like commenting about. Some of this stuff you will surely have forgotten about, I guarantee it. Some of us I may have forgotten about, but oh well. We're going way back machine here. This is May 2017. I felt sympathy for Jeff as he had his kidney stone. I know my kidney stone was the worst pain I ever felt. It did put everything else in my life in perspective. No matter how bad something is, I can remember the pain of that kidney stone, and realize that I realized that it isn't a kidney stone
That if it isn't a kidney stone, then it isn't
if
really.
it isn't a kidney stone, then it isn't really a problem. Oh yeah, kidney stones suck. By the way, if anyone's had them, you know that was god awful. It happened on Cinco de Mayo, 2017. Out drinking with Ant and bullshit Paul, and I was like, my side kind of hurts. Took a bit of a nap and woke up to excruciating pain. Back when you did not know who the hater was, I was so praying that it was Megan.
That would have been pretty glorious.
Yeah.
When it turned out to be Andrew, I was a bit disappointed. But so far, he has been my favorite guest you have had on your show. I also enjoy him. I enjoy hearing him correct you guys on, well, pretty much everything.
So do we.
Yep, I do as well. I almost wish he have been a fourth host. Well, he's very busy.
And he wouldn't have the patience to play.
I mean,
we would never have.
No.
I would love
We couldn't
to
sit
have
him
him on
here-
for like more of the discussion and high-minded stuff, but all the lowbrow stuff. I feel like we can't bother him.
we can't
with
bring
that.
him down to our level.
No. He's clearly above us.
Yes. When you were having the popularity contest, I was really surprised that Jeff did not win. Zach seems to be the most cynical, angry side of the Mile High Game Guy psyche.
Yeah. Okay.
Adrian is dried up husk of self-worth, twisted into self-loathing. Though he seems to show signs of healing and returning to his former self-appreciating self.
I mean, it wavers.
Yeah, it's like a tide.
Yeah.
It's on the moons. Jeff, however, is the sense of wonder and calm center, combining the two halves of the MHGG psyche, the soul of the show. I didn't write this. I guess Jeff losing the popularity contest shows that most of the fans are just as soulless as Adrian, which makes sense, I guess. There does seem to be a lot of heavy train game players listening. We did get a chunk of our audience from Heavy Cardboard streams and stuff like that.
Yes.
So they're always appreciated
Out there
as well.
doing the hard work promoting the show by playing train games.
Yeah. At least it was Zach that won.
Well, not in the end.
I don't remember. This is definitely one of those.
I feel like there were some caveats that came into play where
who put those
ultimately
caveats in? Was it
time.
Adrian or
I believe caveats were like some people changing their votes and stuff like that.
It was somebody, I think, changing their vote from Zach to Jeff, but not Zach down to tied with me.
Yeah.
Nobody changed their vote to me. That didn't happen.
Way to third party me, Jeff.
Yeah. I am the Ross Perot of the Mile High Game Guys.
Yeah.
Digging deep.
Yeah.
I was watching a Drunk History the other day, and there was one of them that had like Ross Perot show up for a minute, and I was just like, that lady plays Ross Perot really well. He continues, though I do want to defend something Adrian said. In an episode, I think somewhere in the 80s, Adrian talked about a movie made in 97 and called it Older. There was a guest on the show, I think it was Wes, but I cannot remember at the moment, and he, then Zach and Jeff started making fun of Adrian for calling it Older. The movie was made 20 years ago. It takes about 25 years for good movies or music to become classic oldies. 25 years is a generation. That movie has been around almost a full turn of Terraforming Mars.
Is that first
mention?
That's first mention.
Yeah.
Only 2 hours and 40 minutes in.
During one of your news announcements, you were talking about Ninja Division / Soda Pop Miniatures not doing any more Kickstarters. As a backer of some of their Kickstarters, that announcement made me happy, and I won't miss an opportunity to bitch about them. I assume from the tone of your talking about that announcement that none of you ever backed a Soda Pop / Ninja Division campaign, correct?
No.
I think the first thing I've ever bought from Ninja Division was Doomseeker because it was at their booth. Now, I agree with everything you said about most of the time backers on Kickstarter get demanding and an extremely overly inflated sense of self-importance. They feel they deserve way more than they are owed. I had the misfortune of backing Rail Raiders Infinite. They misinformed us, they lied to us, and they sold the game retail for more than half a year before sending rewards to a lot of us. As a backer, I expect two things. Let me know when and why my pledge reward is late, and not to go to retail until most of the backer rewards are being sent out to backers. Taking some to a convention is one thing, but I am talking full retail. Maybe I'm being unfair. I am sure you will let me know if I am. You aren't.
No.
Yeah. The other campaign I backed was Way of the Fighter, which was better, mainly because the creator, Benjamin Yamada, was there and very active in chat, and every time Soda Pop tried to pull anything, he was rushing in and doing his best to keep them on the straight and narrow. I am still waiting for the miniatures from that campaign, but I have the game. In Soda Pop / Ninja Division's defense, I did eventually get both of those games, unlike the Evil Dead 2 board game. When you were talking about Shadowrun Sprawl Ops board game, I really wanted to correct a lot of what you were saying. You weren't far off on what you were saying, but there were a few things, and I spent years playing the Shadowrun RPG, which none of us have.
That's correct.
No.
Unless it's that sweet PC game that is really good.
It's not.
The PC game?
I don't.
Is good.
Yeah. Okay. So
I have spent time doing that.
You're both saying different things right now.
Yes.
Okay.
So.
He spent years playing the Shadowrun RPG, which I hate.
Which, and that's what I was saying, because you said unless it's a video game, and I said it's not. It's not.
No.
I don't think that's what he's talking about.
I was mentioning we haven't played it, but I have played the PC game.
Yeah. Okay.
I hate the game, but was the only one in the group that did not like it. So just dragged everyone else down. I know too much about it. The setting was cool, but the game was awful. And that may have just been the person running it. Bad DMs happen.
They do.
In your Terrible Twos episode, you mentioned having two podcasts recording at the same time in the same room without buffering. You missed a perfectly good use for the mattress against the wall. It could have been used as a sound buffer. Just put it between the two simultaneous recordings.
Unfortunately, the mattress is gone now.
Yeah.
I sold it.
Yep. I did not need to enter your contest for Champions of Midgard since I backed it and both the expansions on Kickstarter, as did Zach. But I thought of a great board game Blitz tagline steal. Going way back. Mile High Game Guys, the podcast you can listen to in the time it takes Adrian to take his turn. If you're looking for a good tagline for the show, Mile High Game Guys, it's a floor-slapping good time. Now, Jeff. Okay. The tray that comes out of the computer is not for holding your beer. It actually serves a function for the computer. But really, you put a beer on your computer that was left unattended and on? You know that computers tend to vibrate and heat up, right? You know that cans of beer are pressurized, right? You should know that when a can of beer is shaken and heated, it causes the pressure inside the can to build up, and when the pressure in the can is greater than the pressure outside the can, may explode. I mean, I expect that sort of shit from Adrian, but I expected more from you, Jeff.
Whoa.
And to be fair, Jeff knows now.
To be fair, Jeff knows that. And for two, Jesus Christ, man, I worked on a nuclear submarine in the U.S. Navy. I know all about pressure building up and heat and vibration and how all of that shit affects all kinds of pressurized systems.
A computer's not a blast furnace. It's not exactly pumping out heat.
I'm still smarter than to ever leave a can of pressurized beer anywhere near a computer for long periods of time when I'm away. And even that, like, you made an honest mistake. I mean, I would never put a can. 4 hours.
I
would never say I wouldn't put a can nearby a computer. I probably wouldn't put it on a computer, especially with an open vent top.
What about one that is from a company that has been known to have beers explode?
Certainly not. I removed all the beers. Like when we started having cans of beer explode, I moved all of the cans that I had out until I could verify PIDs. I know that one wasn't on the list.
It was not
at the time.
At the time,
there's always a first one.
Yeah,
but going back. The fact that he would expect me to not know better than to put a beer can near a computer.
To be fair, it's also the same with me and Jeff too. We would expect you to do that.
Come on. I mean, there's a lot of areas where you can not have faith in my knowledge. But
I've never had
as I spill a beer.
Yeah. Yeah, like
I think we can just rest our case now.
Yeah, rest our case. Literally just spilled beer.
Yep.
There was like a teaspoon that spilled.
That's fine. It was also my first time of a not open can just rupturing before, but
yeah, that's really, even with the heat and vibration, that's not a common occurrence.
No. In episode 111, you were talking about the bullshit Adrian and Zach pulled in their top 10 innovative use of worker placement, and Jeff had 10, Adrian had 13, and Zach had 17. 10 plus 13 plus 17 equals 40, not 50. Again, I expect that sort of shit from Adrian, but I expect better from you, Zach.
You're not wrong. Yeah.
We've long since been mocked for this.
Yep.
So, yeah.
On several occasions, you have wondered what sort of gamer Jeff is. I think I figured it out. To start with, you think of tastes in games as a linear thing, Adrian being on one end and Zach on the other, with Jeff in the middle. But it's more three-dimensional than that. Adrian and Zach are a bouncing bar, and Jeff is the fulcrum holding you two in place. Adrian is the heavy gamer, Zach is the thematic gamer, and Jeff is the most gamer. Like in the podcast, Adrian and Zach are like an old married couple bickering with each other, and Jeff was the child they had to keep them together.
But he keeps getting caught in the middle.
This next sentence is wrong, clearly. Adrian is correct.
I know.
The only reason it's incorrect is because he spelled my name Adrian.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Jeff should definitely watch Office Space. I have seen Office Space. I have not seen The Office, which is very different.
Those are also different things.
Yes. It is so frustrating to make references to that movie, and no one has seen it. I have definitely
who has not seen Office Space. Like,
I'm sure there's people that seen Office Space,
I'm sure
it's fine if they haven't seen Office Space.
No, it's not.
Yes. It is an amazing movie, and everyone should watch it at least once.
Yes.
And Adrian is a soulless monster for not watching Doctor Who.
Incorrect. I'm sorry. I expect a certain minimum level of production value in the things I'm going to spend my time on.
When's the last episode? What are you basing that off of?
For Doctor Who?
Yeah.
Season 1, 2, or 3?
Communal knowledge.
Okay, so you've literally never watched it.
No,
all right.
Okay.
All right.
Clips I've seen on the internet.
Gotcha. You should definitely have a spinoff with Jeff and Ant called Mile High Blood Bowlers for MHBB. That wouldn't get confusing at all. They can do
MHGG, MHGD, MHGG.
Yeah.
I'm actually in favor of this,
Yeah.
and we'll include Paul as well.
Yeah. They can do a weekly Blood Bowl podcast. It would be another spinoff that I will not listen to.
Oh.
Well, I may start listening to MHGD in a while, after I get caught up on This Game is Broken and a few podcasts you all pointed me towards. I really enjoyed the Halloween Dread episode, and Jeff makes an excellent stoner.
Which is surprising because Jeff is not a regular stoner.
I am not a stoner, even irregular. I think you should definitely do more short one-off role-playing games like that, and more short games like Win, Lose, Banana. I am disappointed that we did not find out Stacy's motivation. After Quinn was stabbed, he could have lived long enough to have her monologuing about her reason for killing everyone. I was also hoping Ashley was the one in the hockey mask. I mean, you don't see them together. I was hoping that as Sam and Bill drove off, Stacy would tell Quinn why she was killing them. Then, as Quinn drifted off to death, he thought he was glad that he did not stab Ashley until the masked figure took off the mask and revealed that the masked figure was Ashley.
Well, unfortunately, I was winging it really hard at that point.
Yes, he was.
I wish I could have. You're right. I wish I could have thought of all of that because it would have been great. It would have been so good, but I didn't because I'm not clever.
To Zach, that thinks that Canadians are genetically incapable of swearing, I, as a Canadian, would like to quote George Carlin, fuck the fucking fuckers, you Hoosier. Hoser? Yeah, Hoosiers are something different.
And
Still,
it has two O's and an I.
Yeah, it's got literally two more letters.
I've literally never seen either of them spelled out before, so...
You haven't seen the
No, I've not seen the movie. Now that I've written an email to you all, I am off to donate $1 to give Jeff's life a little more meaning. Come at me, bro. Let's do this. Love your show. Keep up the great work. Your friend, Michael, with a bunch of acronyms. Yeah.
Because apparently we have listeners who actually have accomplished things in their life that earn them acronyms, which is amazing considering the failures that we all are.
Or is it initialisms? I can never remember which one. One you pronounce scuba versus FBI. One of them's initialism, one is acronym.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely not acronyms. They're...
Yeah.
Initialisms, not acronyms.
I don't know. I've never heard the term initialisms, but I don't believe those are actually acronyms.
Scuba.
Speaking of Patreon, we actually have 2 new patrons over there. A twofer. First up is Nicholas, who is pledged at the $2 level, therefore avoiding the verbal beatdown that Jeff...
It's the self-respect level.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there is...
I want to thank Nicholas too.
No, yeah. Thank you, Nicholas.
Yes, thank you.
We do really appreciate
Sincere
it.
thank you.
Sincere thank you.
You have twice the amount of self-respect as this next Patreon person.
Yeah. And then also there was indeed, to be fair, his email was honest. Michael pledged $1. So Jeff, you just read like a 20-minute email. So I feel like you've got a lot of information onto the inner workings of Michael's psyche.
Yeah.
Here.
All right, Fulcrum, how are you going to balance this?
I'm going to balance this by, I just read through this whole email and you don't have to... Do you even realize how many words I had to skip over that you just like threw in there? Like is and ifs. I made that sound good. This isn't easy. You give us $1 for me to go over all your spelling mistakes in this thing? Like, Jesus.
I mean,
are you trying to be like, help me, I'm kidnapped by putting all these spelling mistakes in there?
I think he's near a drain. That's a very
a drain.
That was the one that stood out to me the most. The first time, like, because it was a weird thing. Like, I read the email before that we recorded, and I got a ways into it, and I saw my first A drain, and then I was like, well, wait, A drain, and then I realized that I had skipped several A drains. That I just read as Adrian.
Well, I know every time I saw Zach with a K, I just hated this guy just a little bit more.
To be fair.
Wow, Zach. Man, so many Zachs. Yeah. I didn't even realize.
To be fair, I didn't notice a single time that it was Zach with a K. And for fair point too, it's not like your name is phonetical to where you can tell whether it's Zach or Zach.
No, you can tell because I'm not a monster.
Yeah. Well, clearly he thinks you are.
Apparently.
It's got to be that Canadian education.
I feel like we need a poll now to find out whether most people think that Zach should be spelled with a CH or a CK.
Well, we've ruined it now.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I feel like there's enough listeners who would vote CK just to spite Zach, but enough that would vote CH just to side with Zach. We might get a roughly even.
I mean, it would be a poll to see who is right and who is wrong. That's literally what it would be. If you want to vote wrong, go ahead. You're just voting the wrong one.
well, Michael, you are clearly wrong.
Yeah.
And you are the reason Shadowrun RPG was bad.
Oh my God.
He wants to throw $1 like that. I'll throw him $1.
I mean, to be fair, he did say in the email, "Come at me, bro." So,
I mean, yeah, I'm going to assume he was the one that was running it. So that's why.
But seriously, thank you both.
Yes, thank you very much.
For supporting the show. We really do appreciate it. As we do all of our patrons over on Patreon.
And I'm sorry you're Canadian.
But yeah, no, all of our patrons over on patreon.com/MileHighGame, guys. Y'all are awesome. You really help us with the show. You help us improve our mics. You're helping
That's
us.
why you can listen intently every time I scratch my beard.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's right there.
And you're helping us we're getting really close to actually being able to get the video set up to where you can start watching us play things like that Twilight Imperium game that took up so much of this episode.
You can watch me scratch my
Just
beard.
be part of it. You can hear Jeff and see Jeff scratch his beard.
Yep.
Yes.
It'll be great. So, yeah, thank you all for the support. In addition to the emails and the new patrons, we also had some feedback over on BGG. Zach, do you have that pulled up?
Yes, I do. This first one is from the Black Orchestra episode, or rather the banter part of that episode. This is from Raphael. He says, this post says episode 116, but the title doesn't match what I see on your podcast app. It's because we have episode 116 and then the review, and I couldn't be bothered to, I don't know, do a BGG post on just the banter. This post is related to episode 116. And
Maybe it should be 116 slash
maybe.
instead of hyphen. Maybe people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And more specifically about the elk game that you all spoke about. I designed a game about moose and elk and came across this information while researching. And apparently in Europe, they're the same thing. Like they use the name.
Is it an elk? Is it a moose?
Yeah,
If you're in Sweden, the answer is both.
exactly. This should help clear up your comments on the game. So there we go.
Okay. Now I understand.
Now you understand. Now we know.
In the US, elk and moose, very different.
Very different.
Elk are like, I don't know, weird reindeer.
Yep. So then on our Dread RPG episode, we have Chad say, Dread is great, but make sure the GM asks players to draw more than one block at a time, particularly for difficult tasks. You want to create a situation where players will consider not doing it and therefore failing. The game I ran, all players either pooled or died trying, so there wasn't a lot of failed rolls. And I respond with, of course you post this after we finished.
Yeah.
Our Jenga tower was off-brand Team Blockade.
Team Blockade.
So, and it was shitty, so pulling just one brick was often tense enough. And even though Adrian did keep saying, you guys can just not do it, it felt like you were saying it in you could just die if you want.
See, but and I really tried to insinuate that what, because I was trying to there. So you can pull and succeed. You can pull and fail, in which case you die, or you can not pull and fail, but maybe not die. Like there's succeed and not die, fail and not die, and fail and definitely die.
Yeah, well,
but apparently I didn't.
We didn't want to be failures.
And I made you pull more than one on a few different occasions. Maybe not as much as I should have.
No. And then Jeff Calgary responds with, playing in the dark didn't look like it helped either.
No, definitely not.
I almost made it.
Yeah.
I got it out of there.
Yeah.
That was a rough pull.
It was. And it was just like with me, like I had pulled mine out and then I put it on top and that's what caused it to fall.
Yeah. Shitty Team Blockade.
I know.
It's the only reason Quinn died. Because Adrian
that's the only reason Quinn died.
Because Adrian had to save $1.50 between Team Blockade and Jenga.
Yeah.
It was 30 cents.
And-
What the fuck, Adrian?
God, you're a monster.
You're telling me Lucas died for nothing.
To be fair, it honestly looked like it was significantly better than Jenga. It looked better, and it was cheaper.
So they got you.
They got me.
They got you.
They got me. Team Blockade got me.
Yep. And you still haven't returned it. So
I'm going to. I just haven't had a chance yet. I've been busy. Family in town and things.
So tomorrow.
If I have time between editing and going to the condo to snowboard.
There's a Target in Silverthorne. You can return it there.
Can you return something from one Target to another
yeah,
Target?
you got a receipt?
You just have to, no, you just need the same card that you used it on.
Oh.
Yeah.
I assumed you had to take the receipt back to the same one.
After that same business day, it goes into the system and you can return it at any store with just the card.
This is the benefit of knowing somebody who used to work at Target.
Worked too much at Target.
So BGG is done.
BGG is done. That wraps up listener feedback. Didn't have any tweets of note or anything like that. If you want to get a hold of us, if you want to be part of this listener feedback section, there are a plethora, of ways to do it. You can always send us emails.
Emails at milehighgameguys.com.
You can message us or tweet us over on Twitter, where I tweet under at MHGameGuys.
I am Zach_MHGG.
I'm Jeff_MHGG.
You can also find us on both Facebook and Instagram /MileHighGameGuys. We have our Board Game Geek Guild number 2731, where there are weekly episode posts that cover what we are going to be doing that week, where you can give us your thoughts prior to what we're talking about or even after the fact. So be sure to jump over to that guild and join that. And finally, be sure to check out milehighgameguys.com, where we have links to our Slack channel, where you can continue to berate me about the terrible, terrible, terrible NFL football team that is the Broncos this season. You can mock Jeff for not even knowing the name of the Bears quarterback.
I mean, it's changed like every year for like the last 8.
To be fair, I also I'm not sure Jeff is even in the sports channel, so
Nope.
No, he is
your
not.
mocking would fall on deaf ears.
You could mock to bullshit Paul about it.
But you can also join all the other discussions people have about good food, good games, whatever other random shit people are up to. It's a really good community we're starting to build over there.
A lot of Boy Scout talk recently.
Just recently, yeah. It's that time of year, I guess.
Yeah, I also would have no idea.
So, plenty of ways to get in touch with us. So please do so. And then be sure to tune in on Friday when we review Charterstone from Jamie Stegmeyer
And Stonemeyer
Games. Yeah.
And spoil the hell out of it.
And spoil the absolute shit out of it.
Some would say ruin.
Ruin. Yeah.
Ruins.
Indeed. As always, this Wednesday episode has been sponsored by Gray Fox Games. Their newest Kickstarter is currently live. We talked about it earlier. Reavers of Midgard.
So instead of us saying something now, just rewind it. And then don't do that, but actually do it.
Yeah.
And just listen to us talk about that.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
No.
Hitting that little line.
No,
thing.
it's not the 70s. You can't just do a bunch of signals into a phone and make it do shit.
No, indeed not.
Whistles.
Yeah.
But yeah, Reavers of Midgard, the sequel to Champions of Midgard, the more Euro single worker placement, dice placement game from Gray Fox Games. Live now on Kickstarter. Jeff, do you have a prepared statement?
As is tradition, Gray Fox Games, quality games cleverly crafted. Also, I'm a prisoner of death. Only you can free me.
That's what I feel like at the end of this episode.
I thought it was appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one fit real well. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we will catch you later. As always, I have been your host, Adrian.
I am still somehow Zach.
And I got nothing this time. Jesus.
It's just been too long.
It's been so
I'm
long.
just tired, Jeff.
I've been tired, Jeff, before, though.
It's been long enough. You can repeat.
And I'm well-sleeved Jeff.
Bye.
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 Sounds like he's very inconsistent with his whiteboarder hate.
Clearly.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like it's more of a,
Excuse.
yeah, I hate this game. Oh, and it has white borders. It's the worst. Versus, I kind of like this game. I'll forgive the white borders.
I mean, I came
Spot-
in
the,
thinking
all
you,
of, no, the splatter ones. There, it's a uniform white border around everything.
You're backtracking big time.
I'm just gonna close this.
just close the laptop. It's
Fuck
over.
everything. No,
Over.
Get a control
there-
lesson there. real
I-
fast.
there
I
are
just
slight
did-
there are
just
slight
did-
different. I'm not
Slight
saying I love them.
differences.
I'm not saying I loved it, but
Uh-huh.
it doesn't bother. It didn't bother me.
Better
It's-
than antiquity.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I also came into this thinking you would just despise the white borders.
No,
but
I thought originally when
Well,
we
he
saw
likes the game. So.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
okay.
Yeah,
I mean, that is a big part of it.
yeah.
God damn it.
Punchboard Media,
where we all
bring something
to the table
pull up a chair
at punchboardmedia.com.